Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Here's the deal, Drapes. Thank you to Simone for helping us out here, keep us on the air for at least a little bit. You ever get information from a source and you're like, that would be significant, but I don't know if it's really a thing or not. You ever in that situation?
All the time.
Because I came in today and I'll reveal everything here. Don't worry, I'm not holding anything back. But I got some information from a source that told me, hey, Aiyuk, new deal today or in the next couple of days. When I walked in today, I was like, really? But
that's on social media everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, the source was Emil. So, yeah.
You know who Emil's source is? Twitter. Right. No offense to Emil. That's our Sactown insider.
He didn't say that he had a scoop or anything. I just was wishing it was one. But this is all based, or a lot of it's based on that video that we talked about yesterday,
I told you, he looked like a happy camper.
Uh-huh.
And then when you see him and Shanahan embrace, it's like a celebratory hug or something like that. Yeah. It wasn't just your usual, hey, man, good to see you. It was like, my dog, let's get after this kind of thing, you know?
So is this based on people seeing that and assuming that they're going to get something done, or is there any actual reporting that they've been talking about it? I don't know the answer.
If I'm being honest, Whitey, I'm a steer the conversation a different way, and this is no offense to you. I'm the wrong guy to be asking about this right now because I'm pissed off at what I see on my phone on social media day in and day out.
And what is that?
I see one person say something or tweet something, and then a billion people aggregate it, and it must be true. So with this Brandon Aiyuk, this situation, it may be true. Or it could be one person said it, and then everybody else just starts globbing on. And so driving in today, and this is not a Drapes take. We'll have a Drapes take later coming up. But driving in today, I thought to myself, man, social media has ruined our society. I think it has caused more harm than good. You want to hear why? Hear me out. I told you I'm going to steer it in a different direction. One, I'm watching the Olympics. I see this boxing controversy that's going on right now. Right. Whether this person is transgender or not, you got 50% of tweets saying this person is transgender. You got 50% tweets saying this person isn't transgender. Why can't we just get to the bottom of this? I think Americans, people in general, need to be careful with what they say because it becomes a narrative. And let's say this poor boxer isn't transgender. Let's say it's a woman. I have no idea. I haven't done the research. I don't know. But now you're ruining that person's life too. And I feel like it's irresponsible. This phone, the social media has given voices to people who are not responsible with their takes and the information they share. So when it comes to Aiyuk, I don't know. I don't know what to believe.
It's not social media. It's people using it irresponsibly.
But here's the thing, Whitey, and I agree with you. But people are people. If they didn't have the vehicle to share this information, it wouldn't become viral. And so that's what I mean by when I say social media. And it's not just the person that starts it. It's everybody that globs onto it. Right. I mean, it's just.
But we have to, advance in terms of our technology. And if people are going to misuse the technology or the information, whatever it is, we can't just say, well, we can't invent a car because someone will drive it irresponsibly.
Right. I hear you.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
And it does get back to Aiyuk because I'm with you. And that was the germ of my question was, hey, everyone's saying that. Is there any reason to believe that something's going to happen other than everybody saying it's going to happen?
Right. That's what I'm saying. And I have no idea.
Yeah. And it sounds to me like it's a lot of it just because people saw that video and said, ooh, all right. And that's not really anything.
And the problem too, it becomes one or two people start tweeting, sources say, or I'm hearing, or something like that. And then it just blows up and we just don't know.
Yeah.
And so I have no idea, man. It was frustrating to me, and not even about the Aiyuk situation. I'm talking about, like I said, the boxing situation, some of the other things going on in our country right now. We just got to be more responsible as people, not to spread misinformation. You know, to your point, it's not Twitter's fault. It's not social media's fault. It's on us to be responsible with what we share out there. And I caution the listeners and the viewers on YouTube. I see you guys out there and the texters as well. Always remember the messenger when you see something. Who's it coming from? What do they have to gain? Because some of this stuff is driving me crazy, Whitey. Like, seriously, I might have to sign off. The Algerian boxer.
Main Khalif.
Exactly. And like I said, I haven't done the research. And it's okay for me to say, you know what? I'm going to sit this one out. I don't have an opinion on it. I'm not qualified to dive into this. And see, Pat McAfee just went on the show earlier and had a segment about it. Where did he get his information from?
Didn't he say on the segment, I have to do more research?
But then he still talked about it, though, Whitey. He still went on about it.
There?
Right. Once you say that, okay, we all need to do more research. Until I do my research, I'm going to be quiet on it because I don't know. And so I'm on one today because that rubbed me the wrong way. And there's been some other things going on in our country that's bothering me right now. And it just seems like social media and Twitter, to be more specific, and there's nothing against Twitter. I'm not saying it's Twitter's fault, but it is a cesspool out there right now, man. Like, you don't want to look on your phone right now because it's full of anger, it's full of hate, it's full of distrust. I'm upset about this, man.
I have learned that it is useful to find out what other people are thinking, even if their views are diametrically opposed from mine. And it used to be, I can't see that. Yeah. And now it's like, all right, I just want to see how differently people can see things from me and try to understand how that can be. But it's hard. But the scary thing is you have so many people that are intentionally misusing Twitter and all forms of media. And that's always been the case with media in order to deceive people.
And here's the thing too, Whitey, and I'm with you. I'm all for a differing of opinions. I'm all for looking at something a different way. But what's coming out nowadays is straight up harmful discourse.
Yep.
Some of it is racist discourse.
A lot of it.
A lot of it is. And it's not about the issues. It's not about politics or somebody's tax plan or something like that. It's literally questioning someone's culture, race, and origin. And it just bothers me. Like, it really bothers me. I need to take a break, Whitey. Seriously, I got to take a break.
I got to take a quick time out. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'll just keep it here for just a few minutes. Because we're going to normally break in a couple minutes.
I'm here with you, big dog.
Yeah, we're good.
We're
good. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but I think a lot of people are feeling that way more and more often about the state of things. As far as the 49ers go, and I know that pales in comparison to larger issues we're facing, but I do think, lapsing into cliche mood, that's one of the things that is valuable about sports and sports media. Sometimes, like, we get a chance to get away from some of that.
A little bit of escapism.
Yeah, hopefully when it's done well. And then sometimes too often they run into each other, and that's when it gets a little too much, especially when you have international things going on like the Olympic Games. But as far as the 49ers go, everyone seems to be leaping to the conclusion that based on Brandon Aiyuk's reaction in that video with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan that, all right, they're going to get something done. I hope they're right, but I will wait and see. And it could be a matter of a one-year deal, or it could be a matter of I'm just trying to show them I'm still in a good frame of mind. But Emil Fragoso tells me it's going to happen within the next day or so, and he's our 49er insider. So for now, Drapes, that's what I'm going with because that's what I'm hoping happens.
No, I agree with you. I hope it happens. Based on what we saw yesterday, their smiles people seem to be in good spirits. And, it's one thing I've been talking about, ever since they came. Aiyuk deserves to be paid accordingly. He's a number one receiver on a Super Bowl caliber team. I said it yesterday with you and Jay. Name me one other franchise that is paying their starting quarterback and their number one wide receiver a combined $15 to $16 million. Come on, Niners. And I'm not saying it's cheap, but those two positions you've been skating on. You've been skating on with those two guys the last year or two. And so I hope it does get done. He deserves it. He's earned it, especially so many guys getting paid now. And my boy Trent Williams is sitting at home too, looking at the money being thrown around. It's like, hey, I need mine too. And
let me say this to how you were feeling earlier.
Yeah.
I think I hear you. There are some things that were said yesterday that, let's be honest, they should just not be acceptable in a society like ours, there's some things that were said that everyone should recognize. Well, you don't do that. And the fact that not everyone anymore recognizes something like that, there's still some people that say, yeah, that's disturbing.
Yeah,
right?
it is. And that's
the thing.
You're right. That's my
common
point.
Decency should dictate, wow, you don't do that.
Right.
And we've lost a lot of that common decency, in my view, and it sounds like yours as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's troubling and frustrating.
It's troubling, Whitey. It's frustrating. And I blame social media for this reason. It's giving people that we're talking about a microphone, a megaphone to shout their hate and to shout some of their racist opinions. And then you got chum. It's like chum in the water for a section of society, and they just glob onto it, and then they shout it louder and louder. Instead of just saying, you know what? We're all Americans. We're all humans. What about decency? What about treating someone with respect? What about honesty and integrity and all that? That has been thrown out the window here, man, and it's frustrating for me. And I'm on my phone all the time. I'm watching shows and everything, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure you aren't the only one. It's frustrating sometimes to just you constantly get beat upon the head with this nowadays, man.
Yeah, I think it's more important than ever to stand up for what you believe in. You know, it's more important than ever.
All right.
Because some of the common decencies are under attack.
Under attack.
Yeah.
All right.
But we move on. Trent Williams. He's Wirfs more than that guy, right? That's next on Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Farmally, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Those of you watching on YouTube today, we have, I think, did you do that, Simone? You said you did that?
A collaboration, we're calling it, between Nate Littlefield and I.
Okay, when we go to break on YouTube.
Can we throw it back up, Simone, or no? I know
Yeah,
people
of
want to see,
course.
because I need to break it down real quick,
Yeah,
Whitey.
and it's a little, the Olympians on 1140 will be right back. And so they've taken the actual Olympians, Simone has, and who did you say did it with you?
And
Nate
Littlefield.
Dogg. All right, Nate
And then
Littlefield.
they've, put faces of people on the air,
All right,
on the
let's see
bodies
who-
of actual Olympians, and of course they honored your LeBron thing. So there's number 6 USA, Kyle Draper.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't know who I am there.
Where are you at?
I'm up here on top of the
We're
ring.
finding
That's
out.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I
Oh,
don't
that
know
is-
who that is.
Is that
Yeah.
a golfer or something? I don't
Maybe, and it's fine. I'm not complaining. I just don't know who it is. Alan Stiles here is
know. Okay. All right.
that's good. Poor Chris Watkins is Steph. He's gonna.
Oh, yeah.
He
That's
didn't like
Chris.
that, did he? Yeah,
That's
there's
classic.
Jay Ross is track and field there.
Is that shot put guy?
I
Yeah.
think that Carmichael.
Is
Dave.
that Dave right
Voice
there?
lab.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
Dave.
So anyway,
Michael Dave.
and
Okay.
there's Simone is Simone. So
Oh, she's feeling it too, man.
I'll bet that's the first one she did.
This last 48 hours has been great for her, right?
This inspired the whole project. that I really wanted a Photoshop of Simone because it's been so popular nowadays. And yeah, we're all just really, really fortunate to be living in the golden age of Simone Biles.
Yes. And then the Frankie one is almost scary.
Who is Frankie? Which one
I don't know who he is, but when you see it, it's like it takes a second to realize.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
Bryson DeChambeau.
Oh, that's DeChambeau. Okay, yeah, that's Frankie. Okay, yeah, that was pretty good.
Drapes, some advice for you on the chat here. I think it was from Curtis 6. Sign off, Drapes. It's okay. I signed off about 7 years ago. Best feeling ever. Talking about social media.
I might have to.
But then you can't keep up with everything else.
But I'll hear it anyway, right?
Saying.
Like it's become addictive, Whitey. And the problem is, and I'm going to blame Elon for this. The For You feature might be the worst feature ever invented on social media because you see a lot of stuff from people you don't follow. And if you look at one thing, then it becomes, you start seeing it over and over and over, and I'm going to have to take a break, big fella. I'm going to take a break, a social media break here coming up. You're on vacation next week. Yes, he does. Zero Dark 30 or whatever it's called. Yeah. I might have to do that. You're on vacation next week.
Right.
So I can't do it next week because I got to be on top of what's happening in the world and produce the show and everything. But when you come back, your boy ain't going to be on social media. I'm going to take a 2-week hiatus.
I predict that will last
2 weeks.
3 days.
Come on, man.
That's my prediction.
I'll be off Twitter for 2 weeks. I can do that easily.
Didn't you try to do that once before and you didn't even last a day?
Because it was like during trade deadline or something like that.
I remember that. I don't even think you made it 12 hours.
I know, but this time I'm serious about it. Like it is affecting my mental health. And so, like I said, I was driving in and I was like, man, I'm just not feeling it right now.
May I include a personal anecdote here? Yeah. I don't know if anyone knows this extensively, but I had my Twitter suspended last week for no apparent reason other than me finding out later is because I was interacting with too much Kamala and Veep related articles. So yes, absolutely. Because I was liking the parallels of that fictional universe with our own. I got suspended from that. I had to appeal the whole thing, but it's been really lovely. That time apart from Twitter was really nice. So I do encourage you exploring that. And it's
it's a forced exile, like a forced
appeal. But I had to appeal because I feel like so much of our jobs is obviously communication based.
Right.
There's so much information that is only accessible through Twitter and at the speeds that Twitter provides. So it was really interesting. But I just wanted to add that note that did happen. Okay.
Doesn't make me feel any better about it.
I'm sorry.
But
there can be good sides to taking a little pause and reassessing your relationship with social media.
Yeah.
Jay's here now.
Our boy Family Schlegel.
Thank you, Simone.
Drapes, my birthday is the first Tuesday in November. I'm splitting town just to get away from the noise. Epic Airbnbs, be sure to delete completely off your phone. It's tempting to keep it. It really is. And so,
Family Schlegel, just make sure you vote before you take
it. Is that, he said November. Yep.
Yeah, make sure
the first Tuesday in November. Dang, yeah. Vote and then go on your vacation.
Do what you got to do. What do you think of this? Tristan Wirfs says signed a new deal with Tampa Bay, reported to be 5 years, $104.63 million, a contract extension. So he's now the highest paid offensive tackle. Trent Williams now pushed down one spot further on the list of the top paid linemen in the NFL.
I mean, Trent Williams got to get paid, right? I mean, I understand, the market that we are in right now and guys getting paid. But if I'm Trent, what is he now in terms of where does he rank?
You got Tristan Wirfs and you got Penei Sewell.
Yep.
28 million average. He had been the highest, followed by Christian Darrisaw, 26 million.
3.
Houston's Laramie Tunsil, 25 million, and the Giants, Andrew Thomas, 23.
So he's not even top 5.
He's 23.01.
All right. So Trent Williams not even the top 5 paid offensive line. There you go, Whitey. That's it. That's if I'm Trent Williams' agent, I'm calling up John Lynch. John, I'm not even the top 5 offensive lineman paid in the NFL. Let's take care of that. Treat your boy right.
There's also this. This is from our buddy Matt Mayoko. At the time of the signing, the final year of Williams' contract was considered a move that was just made for appearances. It included a base salary of $32.21 for 2026, and that was just to artificially inflate his average per year.
Ooh.
So when you talk about what he's getting per year, it's kind of artificially inflated by the balloon payment at the end that they never necessarily expected to make. So it's not even as good.
It's not even as much as it looks.
But, Jay made an absolute brilliant and key point yesterday. Jay's back with us now when he pointed out that, look, right now, you want to get Trent Williams back, but him missing camp, that's probably a good thing.
Because of his age and miles on him. I get it. And he doesn't need to be there, first week of camp and everything like that. I get it. And so what I'm hearing, though, is even though everybody else is getting paid, people are getting paid, Trent Williams not even a top 5 paid offensive lineman, we all still believe nothing to worry about. We all still believe Trent will be there come game 1. They'll take care of this. He'll be in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, like you said, with Brock Purdy's interceptions, it's camp. First week into the second week of camp. No reason to panic right now, Niners Nation. But the same thing with Aiyuk seems to be happening now with Trent Williams. The more people that sign, the higher the price goes up. The more it's going to cost the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Why not take care of it on the front end instead of waiting as more deals come in?
Mm-hmm. It's like Grant Cohn wrote, and we know that he is not necessarily somebody that sees the 49ers through those rose-colored glasses. He said the question is whether the 49ers can afford a Trent Williams extension in the long term because they're also trying to extend Aiyuk, and next year they will try to extend Brock Purdy, so they may not have earmarked $28 million per season for a left tackle who is excellent but aging. So it could be a little trickier than it looks to us. To us, it's like, just pay him. Pay him, right?
Right.
You got to pay him.
I mean,
it may not be that simple for them.
But Trent Williams, you got to pay him, right?
I know.
It may not be simple. It may be painful if you're the Niners, but he is the key to everything you do offensively. First of all, let's keep it real. The offensive line outside of Trent is a little shaky.
Yes, it's almost by design.
It's a little shaky. And so this is your rock. This is your centerpiece, even though he's a left tackle. Like, this is the guy that anchors your offensive line. You got to take care of him. And if I'm Trent, maybe what was Wirfs' contract, 28?
He is now the Hippolote, the highest paid offensive lineman of all time. 5 years, $104.63 million total. Yeah. So the per year is higher than 28.126 million per year. Yeah, that's the average.
Man, that's
Aiyuk
money.
That's what we look at, and it really is more about the guarantee and the length of the deal.
And which was how much guaranteed? 80 something?
Do I have that
in there?
I don't think I have that. I'm sure it's somewhere. Perhaps you have it. I don't have it handy. Yes, I do. 88.24 million guaranteed.
Ooh. If I'm Trent Williams, I'm looking for a 3-year deal with about 80 million guaranteed. 3-year.
He's already got 3 years on his deal, right? It's just none of it is
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Can they restructure, I guess? Is that what we're looking at?
Similar. I think he would want something similar to what they did with McCaffrey.
Right.
Which is, I got the deal, but none of it's guaranteed. And it's okay, here you go. They were quick to pony up the dough.
Yes.
So that's what they need to do here.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we all believe he'll get taken care of. I mean, if Aiyuk is going to get paid according to reports and innuendo and so-called sources out there, and Emil, our insider, then Trent Williams has to get paid. And that's an awful lot of money. They're going to have to move off on some of that, right? Next year. Like, you can't be paying everybody. It just, when Brock Purdy comes up, you got to pay him $60 million or $55 million. You got CMC at close to $20 million. Debo more than $20 million. Aiyuk 28 million when it all comes in. That's a lot of money being tied up.
Here's one of the things that's come up again today, and I know we talked about it, and this is not a report. This was Kay Adams had this today, and I'm not suggesting this is what they're doing. It's what they could do. She was saying, look, they could offer Aiyuk $25 million guaranteed for this year only. Let's redo the deal.
20,
so you get $25 million guaranteed this year, and then we will
revisit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
After we win a Super Bowl, which is the plan. But that gives them an out. It gives him big chunk of cash up front and
potentially free agency hit the market. go to Washington or Pittsburgh or wherever he wants to go.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a win-win.
It does, but I don't know that there's any reason to think that they actually have discussed that, but it seems like it would be a way out for everybody, a win-win.
You know, I'm a contrarian. Mm-hmm. I always like to look at the other side. If you're the Niners, you got them on the hook for $14+ million. Why would you do that?
I think because it would just damage your
a show of
relationship
a goodwill
with him
or
and
something?
with other players in the future, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that matters. They're smart enough to know that matters. All that stuff matters.
No, I agree.
You do one thing like that, next time you're in a dispute with somebody, they're like, hey, you saw what they did to Aiyuk.
Yeah.
They're going to do that to you.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Hopefully it gets done, man, because this contract stuff, like, everybody knows I'm an Eagles fan. Everybody knows, really? I'm not rooting for the Niners. 0-17, wouldn't be good for the station. Wouldn't be good for the brand. But I do want to see Aiyuk in camp. I want to see him out. Like, I'm a huge Brandon Aiyuk fan. The dude does his job every day, blocks well, doesn't complain about the targets or anything like that. He's not a diva wide receiver. They should take care of that guy.
By the way, speaking of that, Andre Johnson's going into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to talk to Mike Jones today from The Athletic, and he just wrote about Andre Johnson at The Athletic. And Andre Johnson was not like those receivers. As you say, receivers they're divas, and they're always calling attention to themselves. And Andre Johnson was not that guy. He wouldn't even talk trash on the field.
Right.
He just beat you.
It was about his business.
Yeah.
He was about
kind of like Larry Fitzgerald was that way.
Yep. You're right about that.
Mm-hmm. When we come back, speaking of the NFL, today's NFL Top 100 reveal. Oh, a lot of Cowboys in there. And I think I saw an Eagle quarterback in there, too. We'll take a look at that next on Sactown Sports.
Hey, get ready to rock, groove, and have a blast with the Sactown Sports live events calendar. We've got an unbeatable lineup of shows that you won't want to miss. It's Brett Young and Chase Rice at Thunder Valley on August 3rd. Plus, Jason Mraz and the Superman will be rocking Thunder Valley on August 9th. Then head out of the heat to higher elevation for the Truckee Music Festival on August 9th and 10th, featuring Kip Moore and Sublime. And here's your Live Nation lineup. On August 4th, don't miss the Outlaw Music Festival at Toyota Amphitheater featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. On August 15th, catch Donnie Osmond at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Then on August 22nd, Creed Fisher takes the stage at Ace of Spades. And on September 10th, enjoy the timeless sounds of the Doobie Brothers at Toyota Amphitheater. Rounding out this rockin' lineup is the Lodi Grape Festival from September 12th through the 15th, featuring Joe Nichols and Smash Mouth. For information and tickets, visit grapefestival.com. And then stay tuned to Sactown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You go into your shower feeling... But as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
What are you watching tonight, Drapes? Sports-wise, we got MLB baseball tonight. Giants and A's are off. It's a travel day. There's not a lot of games, but I think we have tonight the Rockies and the Angels, and I think the Cubs and the Cards play. We also have the Hall of Fame game, which you can hear right here on Sactown Sports. Unfortunately, we will have to bring you a truncated show today
early
so that we can give you the Hall of Fame game. But we have that. Then, of course, we have the Olympics. So what you going to be?
You know what? I'm not going to be watching any of that. I know. First of all, we get done at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
That hour is a huge difference in the Draper household.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of getting home at 7 and figuring out dinner and everything like that, I could get home at 5:45.
I know.
Make dinner.
Yeah.
Be done by 6:45, 7, still have the night away.
Yeah.
The rest of the night. So I gave the kids one of two options, Whitey. Because we don't just sit around in the Draper house. I'm just not. We either want to go mini golfing or Dave and Buster's. The kids chose Dave and Buster's. So it's an arcade night tonight for the Draper household. So me and the kids will be going to Dave and Buster's in Folsom tonight, and that's what they wanted to do. So
Can I tell you a Dave and Buster's story?
You always got a story. Yeah, please do. I want to hear this.
It's a radio story. We were doing a thing at Dave and Buster's once, and Scott Marsh, the great Scott Marsh, was out there. And he said, hey, look, it was me and our morning show, I think. And he says, hey, here's some free games if you guys want to play. Scott, yeah. So we had it, and I thought, you know what? We should give this to listeners. What?
That's nice of you. Yeah.
So we give here's some free games to a family. They came back a while later, like, man, thanks. We really appreciate it. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Go back to see Scott. He goes, hey, do you have that card? And I said, well, we gave it to Bleacher. He goes, dude, that was for $100.
Oh, you gave away $100.
My man Whitey.
Whitey taking care of you, $100.
No wonder they're so happy.
Scott, stop counting my pockets, man. We don't count pockets on the Drive Guys.
What does Scott want you to do? Just play 2 games and give it back or something?
Play as many games as you want. We're like, we're going to do that to listeners.
So he wanted to keep it and, use it for next time or something like that.
Sorry about that.
My best video game arcade story happened at the at Sunsplash area in Roseville. I forget, Scandia Family Fun or whatever it's called.
Sunsplash?
I go to Sunsplash, big fella. I'm there sometimes. I might go Sunday, as a matter of fact.
On the 19th.
No, I'm not going there tonight.
Okay.
I'm not going there. The invite's not there tonight, Jay. But they got the arcade there. So I buy a card, I think $50 or something. And so the kids are playing. And they're like, Dad, check this out. And so they scan the card, and there had to be like 1,500 to 2,000 credits. Like somebody had loaded it. It might have been like one of those employee cards where, or something. Dude, we played off that thing for about 4 or 5 months, man. We were back there. The kids racked it up, man. I was a god then. They still bring that. Dad, remember that card that had 2,000 tickets on it? Like, yeah, we paid $25 for it.
You ever lose your composure playing miniature golf?
Nah, because I always win. I always win, big fella. My putting's on point. My putting's good.
Can you see him, Jay? Missing a putt, whipping one out, and snapping the putter, and
my putter
straight to the freeway.
No, I'm not in my head when it comes to that. Come on, man. And I only play against the kids, so I'm dominating on them. I'm dunking on them and everything. I'm shooting like a 38. My son's at a 55 or something. Like, I'm creaming them. So no,
dominating out.
Right. I'm not worried about that.
First time we played miniature golf with my daughter Lonnie, she was about 8, I guess. It was Scandia, and on the first hole, she's just like trying to hit it straight, and she gets a hole in one on the first hole. We're like, that's incredible.
Nice.
Next hole, she hits it straight. She almost gets a hole in one, and we're like, that's amazing. And she's like, Because she thought she's supposed to get a hole-in-one on every hole.
Oh, these kids, man. These kids. I will say, lastly, on that topic, I love my daughter to death. She's the best daughter ever. She is amazing. I love her. But I have to remind her, the maximum is 6, honey. Like, she's not a golfer. She's not an athlete in that regard.
Are you really doing that?
What?
Are you really carrying her to make 6?
No, he's right because
if
there's people behind,
people behind, that is the worst feeling, Jay. When you're playing miniature golf and people in front of you are taking forever, it's like, dude, just
take all the time you need, but you still only get 6.
Yeah, 6 is the max, and so
it's contradiction. Take all the time you need, but only take 6.
Take all the time you need, but not all the shots you need.
And let's school Jay.
This is coming from Whitey, who's all about give ribbons to everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not
true.
What I said at all. That's a total misinterpretation of what I'm saying. By the way, those are the rules.
And 6 shots. And Jay doesn't.
Are y'all
understand.
really keeping score on putt?
Yes,
putt?
of course.
You guys
What's
are
the
taking
point
them
of doing
small little half number 2 pencils and writing your score.
Yes,
Come on.
of course. You don't do that. Come on, you
I
play
got
to
a
win
life,
the game,
man. I got things to do, big fella.
You play to win the game, Jay.
Oh, come on.
Come on now. And here's the thing about golf, Jay. If you golf, you'd understand this.
Well, it's a hobby. That's
People
why
don't care
it's a
whether
hobby,
you're
not
good
a
or
sport.
not. They care whether you play fast or not. Being behind a slow golfer is the worst, whether it's putt, playing 18, playing 9, it doesn't matter. Keep it moving.
The one time I regretted it, I was playing, I used to do stuff for Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and I had my guy, and I'm not going to say his name, but we had a lot of fun together. We're playing at that indoor miniature golf out like Spaghetti Factory.
Yeah.
So I got this long putt for birdie, and the way everything is, there's a haunted house or something. So I had to putt left-handed, and I'm not left-handed. So I'm like, okay, like from 40 feet, drained it. I'm like, yeah. And he was, it's like he got a 4 or something. So he was like, oh, good shot. I felt so bad.
Oh, see, now you're that type. Now that might be a little too much.
Left-handed, yeah. Then I realized, maybe I should be keeping score.
Yeah, you're taking a little too serious.
But with the family, of course.
Right. Well, the problem is my son always trying to talk trash. He thinks he could beat me at everything. So I got to remind him, nah, young fella, you're not at that level yet.
Speaking of levels, here we have players 20 through 11, NFL.com's top 100 players of 2024, as selected by the players themselves. Number 20, C.J. Stroud. Number 19, Roquan Smith from the Ravens.
Okay.
Number 18, down 16 spots, is Justin Jefferson.
Down 16 spots?
Only played 10 games last year. Number 17, down 8 spots, Micah Parsons. Number 16, up 40 spots, Dak Prescott.
Wow. Up 40.
Up 40. Second in passer rating, third in passing yards. He was a legitimate MVP candidate.
He was. Yes, he was.
Let's see. Number 15, down 12 spots. Jalen Hurts.
That's respectable. You know what? That's honestly better than expected. After what happened last year, how they flamed out.
Yeah.
And the fact, he was 3 the year before? Is that what they're saying? Because he's down 12, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Wow. My guy. So we got a top 15 player in the league in Philly.
Yeah, he falls after a season plagued by turnovers, but 15 rushing touchdowns.
That's pretty good.
Single season record for quarterbacks. A record he shares with Josh Allen. Number 14. Have you seen this yet?
No, I have not.
George Kittle. Number 14 is George Kittle.
You can't have a tight end in
up
the top
5
15
spots.
You cannot.
George Kittle is better than Jalen Hurts.
You can't have a tight end in the top 15 players in the entire. Is this the player survey?
Yes.
That's
what the players say.
It's all about names.
You can bark at me, but it's what the players say.
You can't have a tight end.
Number 13, CeeDee Lamb, up 21 spots. Number 12, Josh Allen.
Ooh. Okay.
Number 11, another 49er, Fred Warner. And there you go.
Fred Warner?
20. Yes.
So the Niners, man, they are setting themselves up for a major crash.
Their tight end and one of their linebackers better than the Eagles quarterback.
But
according to NFL players.
See, but that's how you want to spin it, Whitey?
That's what it says.
I want to spin it as, we know Trent Williams is going to be top 10, right?
Yes.
We know CMC is going to be top 10, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's been named
yet. He
yet.
hasn't been named yet.
And
so you got
Bosa?
4 in the has Bosa's been named though, right?
You're right. He was
named yesterday. Yeah, but you got 4 top 15 players If you don't win the Super Bowl, that's an epic collapse. There is no reason why the Niners can't get it done. And so I could argue going into this season, they have more pressure than any team in the NFL.
When you say total collapse, to me, that's fallen 12 spots. That's
boom. Hey, we like to be the underdog. You know, we clearly aren't good at front running.
You're right. You had a year, like that year ended for them, and he's still right there at number 15.
That's pretty good, actually. Like, I'm surprised.
Mm-hmm. You okay with him just behind Josh Allen?
Yeah,
I mean,
Josh Allen. Yeah,
that's
Josh
elite
Allen is
quarterback.
yeah. So, what if I remember correctly, too, though? Joe Burrow, we talked about yesterday, if I'm correct. So he's not a top 10 player in the NFL.
Not according to the players, who, again, we're assuming that they're actually paying attention to any of this.
And
not just all voting for their buddies.
Right, exactly. And it also seems to me, and I'm just trying to guess the top 10, there might only be one quarterback, right? Because Aaron Rodgers did we have Aaron Rodgers already?
Yeah, he's like 90-something.
Right. He was way
of
back.
His career.
So Patrick Mahomes might be the only quarterback in the top 10.
Maybe so. I don't think we've had Lamar yet, right? Have we had Lamar?
No, we haven't had Lamar. Yeah. So, yeah, you're right.
We got to get at some point, maybe we'll get Drape's top 10 NFL players.
I give you that. I'll give you that. I could definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
Eagles kicker would be number 10, long snapper 9, it could be full Eagles squad.
When we come back, a cool tribute to a late, great icon brings back memories of previous cool tributes. Next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Farmerly, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
This is the famous footwear that makes us actually want to go back to school. With the newest styles from all your favorite brands like Nike, Adidas, Crocs, Converse, New Balance, Birkenstock, and more. You'll find everything kids want, all at prices parents can appreciate. Because you don't have to overspend to make it famous. Famous Footwear even has fit experts in store to make sure you get the right size every time. So for the perfect fit, make it famous. Plus, right now, buy one, get one half off when you shop your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We now have unlimited data that never slows you down. Covered by the Verizon 5G network. And for less than $30 a month, we make your phone your ride or die. Switch now and pick a free 5G phone with qualified plan purchase. And your fourth line at no additional cost. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Team USA taking on Latvia as we speak in 3-on-3. You feeling any better about the entire 3-on-3 operation than you were yesterday? I'm not.
No, not really. Not really. It's
USA is leading currently.
All right, up 7-3, and who we got? Some Team USA big club members out there watching too.
Derek White's there.
Yeah, my boy Derek White
heckling them. You guys suck. No, he's
is that Rick Barry's son right there?
Canyon, I believe so.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. No offense, I can't get into these guys. I just can't. I mean, look at the guy right there. I mean, that dude looks like I dropped 20 on him on a Sunday morning at the Folsom Lifetime a couple of weeks ago.
He's a coach somewhere, I think.
Is he?
Yeah. Jay really, opened the lid on this thing yesterday. The way the Olympics do it with 3-on-3, you can't just have a country pick your own team. You can't just go, all right, we're going to send these 3 guys. There's all kinds of rules about how you have to qualify. So, real basketball players are during the year, they're playing real basketball instead of trying to qualify for the 3-on-3 team.
Yeah. And I'm not, I don't want to diss anybody, and I don't want to be that guy, but these are not our best 3-on-3 basketball players.
Right.
Like, it's like, and let me, you tell me, is there a specific skill that 3-on-3, set you apart from 5-on-5, or is it just basketball at the end of the day?
The only weird thing is, to me, is the way I've never played 3-on-3 like that, where when there's a basket, you just
keep running. You just keep going.
That'd probably take a little adjusting too. And there's just, they're moving all the time, but the best players in the world can easily adjust to that. I'm with you too. I'm nothing against these guys. They're just not, like you said, hey, good for them. They're not our best basketball players.
Yeah, but I'm, you know what? I'm watching this game right now. USA against is that Latvia?
Yes,
they're taking on. It's competitive. Like, USA is digging in. They're locking down defensively, up 11-5, and so I just don't know. I think when you look at 5-on-5 basketball in the Olympics, it's one of the marquee events. Will this ever become? And it's basketball though. Like, you would think it would become a huge event, but these aren't household names.
Right. And it's always going to be a less than real basketball.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Maybe they're playing better because they don't have Jimmer Frette today. He's hurt, I think.
No, I just saw him out there.
Him?
I just saw him. Yeah. He's playing through pain.
Good for him.
Yep.
You sure?
Yeah, I just saw that. I just saw
him?
it. Right. Exactly. He got some massage work done and everything, and I think he's out there now.
But are the Latvians attacking him?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen that yet.
I thought this was cool. What'd you think of this? Last night, the Seattle Mariners were in Boston. George Kirby's a pitcher for the Mariners. And the first pitch of the game, he doesn't throw a knuckleball, but he's a master of different grips. And he threw a knuckleball in the first pitch of the game in honor of Tim Wakefield, the former Red Sox who died last October.
Yep.
And George Kirby grew up as a Yankee fan, but he, saw all those great rivalry games between the Red Sox and the Yankees, and it was his tribute to Tim Wakefield. He did the same thing last October on the day Wakefield died. He threw a knuckleball. I just thought that was really cool.
No, I'm with you 100% on that. And, it shows you, it's like you're paying homage to, your hero, somebody you grew up idolizing.
In the ballpark where he played. Yeah.
Right.
He said he was a special player. So just being able to do it here in Boston was pretty cool. It reminded me of Bo Kimball.
The left-handed.
Yeah.
Was he left-handed and shot right, or no? He was right-handed, shot left.
But he shot left because Hank Gathers was left-handed, right?
Hank the Bank Gathers.
So after they lost Hank Gathers, then I think their first tournament games out, 3 tournament games, his first free throw one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Which is like, wow. I remember when he first did that, I was like, it took my breath away.
Right. I remember watching it live too. And it just goes to show you, man, sometimes it's bigger than just, competing and winning or losing, to honor somebody like that in the middle of competition. To your point, to do it yesterday in Boston, where Tim Wakefield was a legend, that's pretty special. That's pretty special.
Do you guys remember after Sean Taylor died, 2007, their next game, the Washington was playing Buffalo, and they only had 10 men on the field. for the first play.
I do remember that.
And his spot was vacant.
Yes, I do remember
and
that.
And the Bills ran that way, and they ran for like 15 yards. But it's like, okay.
I love stuff like that in sport. Right. First down on the play, but it was bigger than that. It was, it's we need more of that in sports, man, because everybody wants to, have the Mamba mentality and be a killer on the field and everything like that. Like, it's okay to, show appreciation to your opponent or show appreciation to somebody that came before you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you look at basketball nowadays, the conversation is, can, this Team USA beat the Dream Team? I don't know if they can or not, but, wouldn't it be cool to, honor a Magic Johnson or honor a Michael Jordan or somebody like that, somebody you grew up idolizing as a kid.
Mm-hmm. By the way, speaking of USA basketball, not to open this can of worms again, and I know we're going to talk about it later. Did you see what Jason Tatum said about not playing in that first game?
I did. That's my guy. He took the high road, right?
Yeah.
Seems like people are more upset about it than he is, actually. And
he did say it was humbling, right?
Yeah, it was humbling. Yeah, it was humbling. But, he's a team player, man. And, for him to sort of sacrifice and not make it about him, because that's what he said. It's not about me. It's about the team trying to win the gold medal. And that's the right tack. It didn't backfire on Steve Kerr. And so shout out to Tatum for handling it that well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and, Steve Kerr drawing rave reviews from your buddy Windhorst. Just says,
big fella, calm down. You're trying to set me off early. Yeah,
you're
trying to set me off early.
We can touch on it now.
Windhorst is respected journalist.
Aces for Steve Kerr.
Right. I can't even say it, Whitey. I can't. Here's the thing about Brian Windhorst, and we'll get into it later.
Yes.
On Drape's Take.
Yes, looking forward to that.
Brought to you by Alsco Uniforms. But of course, it's coming up roses now. It's coming up aces right now. You beat freaking South Sudan, and you beat Serbia, a good team, but you should beat Serbia. Nobody is expecting you to lose these games. This isn't about winning or losing, the criticisms of Steve Kerr. It's about certain decisions that Kerr is making that are just head scratching. And people will say, well, they won the game, Drapes. It doesn't matter. That's Jason freaking Tatum. You play him. I don't care if it's 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You give Jason Tatum the respect of playing him in the first half, Whitey. I'm not saying play him 5 minutes late in the fourth quarter when it's already a blowout. Who knows? Jason Tatum might have been hot. He didn't get the opportunity. And so for Brian Windhorst to carry the water of Steve Kerr, maybe he wants a one-on-one interview, doesn't want his credential revoked or something like that. But grow a spine, Windhorst. That was terrible. I heard that. That's terrible.
You know that I don't see it that way, and we're looking for your Drape Stakes.
Yeah.
I think it's more disrespectful to play a guy a few token minutes, than just to say you're not playing today. What did you think of Embiid not playing?
I got it with Embiid because Embiid's injury prone. He's, he was injured in the NBA playoffs. B, the South Sudan matchup, it wasn't conducive to a player like you didn't need a big physical guy. Like those were, when you gave it was more perimeter, up and down kind of thing. And if you looked at why the game against South Sudan was close the first time they played, and I'm not blaming Embiid, I'm just saying the style of play, South Sudan got up and down the court. They like to run, transition buckets, open threes, that kind of thing. So that's why you play an Anthony Davis or a Bam Adebayo more, because your transition defense is better than if Joel Embiid. So I understood that. And how about this yesterday against South Sudan? Tyrese Halliburton did not play against Serbia, but he played against South Sudan in the first half, Whitey, where the game, sure, it was getting a little bit of but that's what I was talking about with Tatum. And I hear what you're saying about, it's more disrespectful to play a guy 5 minutes. But when the game is still very much to be decided in the first half, it's not disrespectful to play a guy 5 minutes in the first half and then see what the second half looks like. Once you didn't play him in the first half, I agree with you. Don't put him back in it. Don't try and put him in the second half when you're up by 30. That's disrespectful. But you could have snuck him in for 3 to 5 minutes. Come on, man.
Coach Kerr says, I know I look like an idiot, but I can only play 10 players. He says that's just the way it is.
That's not true.
That's not true. Yeah, I'm with you, Greg.
How many you play yesterday?
Don't know.
All 12.
No, he played
except 11 except for Embiid.
I thought he could only play 10 players, Jay. You can play more than 10 players. Look at it yesterday. He played 11 players in the first half yesterday against South Sudan. It wasn't just like it was a blowout in the second half. All right, now I'm going to play guys. In the first half, he went to Tyrese Halliburton. Come on now.
From the 916, which is more legit? Which is the more legit Olympic sport? 3-on-3 hoops or breakdancing? And this person says, punt them both. I would keep breakdancing. If I could only keep one,
really?
I'm keeping breakdancing. 3-on-3, bye-bye.
Is breakdancing a sport?
Yeah, I think it's an event.
No, I know but is it a sport?
If it's in the Olympics, it's as much as, like ribbon gymnastics or whatever.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's very athletic.
You talk about a hobby, Jay. Breakdancing? That's what me and my boys used to do with the cardboard and the.
You ain't had a box. You ain't had a 3-stripe
I had the box.
Sweatsuit.
Yes, I did, big fella. Yes, I did. I was a Run DMC guy. I had the Shelter Adidas, had the Adidas sweatsuit, and I walked around with cardboard and a boombox back in the day. Call me Radio Raheem back in the day. That's how I was. But breakdancing, I just don't get it.
So you would keep 3-on-3 over breakdancing?
Easily. Because here's the thing about breakdancing, and maybe they've changed the rules since I was a kid, but breakdancing is all about individuality. How can a judge breakdancing when it's really about individuality?
Well, it's just like figure skating. You do the same thing in figure
artistic,
skating.
artistic.
But figure skating, you got the triple axel. Did he execute that right? I don't know. It's different to me. Is it?
Yeah.
So you're cool with breakdancing?
Yeah, I'm cool with breakdancing. This the thing about Olympic sports, Drapes, and I think someone said this.
We've lost.
Someone said this online yesterday. The Olympics are for very niche sports, right? Niche sports.
Yeah.
And so I'm cool with sports where air rifle and golf, sports like that.
Golf is a niche sport.
Where those type of sports are, table tennis with ping pong, whatever you want to call it, like badminton. Those are Olympic style sports.
Yeah,
I don't call those, everyday athletic sports, but I'm cool with those being Olympic sports. This is the time for them to shine, fellas. Like, it's okay to get out there and shoot it, as we saw. What, the athlete from Turkey that's catching all the love?
Yeah.
51-year-old, athlete got out there and captured gold. This is what Olympic sports are about. Break dancing, dominoes should be a part of it. Spades.
Give me on some spades. I would kill you. Let me lastly say this, Whitey. We up against it. We got this break coming up. We got a great hour coming up next hour. But one sport or one event that should not be there. Have you guys seen, what is it, dressage or the horse thing where the horse is just prancing around and everything like that? That should not be in the Olympics.
Rock climbing too.
Right.
Like climbing should not be.
Days ago that Jay would want to bring jacks back.
That's fine.
Oh, that was
it's better than that. Hey, Drapes, it's better than that horse prancing around in the dirt.
Come on, man.
And this the other thing about equestrian, and I know people getting ready to come. 916-339-1140. I'm ready for all the smoke, all the gun smoke. Why isn't the horse the athlete in equestrian compared to the rider, the jockey?
I agree with
like they ain't doing nothing but pulling some reins.
They ain't doing nothing.
They doing nothing.
I have a feeling none of those people listen to our show. I could be wrong. I hope they do, and they're certainly welcome to. But I wouldn't bet on it. Do any remaining free agents fit the Kings roster? Hey, one just might. Next, Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
There was always a crowd gathered around our dining table when I was growing up. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Everyone was welcome at my mother's table, so holidays, birthdays, and celebrations always included family and friends. I used to think I was the most popular kid in the neighborhood until I realized that my friends were really there for my mother's incredible cooking. Years later, when I bought my own dining table from Naturewood, I made sure it was large enough to make friends feel welcome. And right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings Dine in Style sale, you have an opportunity to find the perfect dining room furniture to help you create your own treasured memories. Choose from casual to formal or anything in between. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings during the Dine in Style sale off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
I just flashed back, pardon me, to one of my favorite Olympic moments, and now that Drapester Jay remembers it. Remember, and I'm pretty sure it was the Olympics in Brazil, where the diving was postponed because they had too much algae in the water. It was like your pool when I didn't put the chlorine in, or the pool guy didn't come. That was funny. Do you watch any of the diving? That the synchronized diving last night? Like these two young ladies from China.
I saw that one dive.
View,
yeah,
it's like it looks like one
person. That was perfect. Yeah, that's the. I haven't watched much of the Olympics, man. It's just I find myself, maybe I'm an Olympic snob. I find myself, because I knew it's tape delayed and a re-air and the events already happened, I'm not interested as much in sitting down and watching at night.
I get that.
I watch during the day, like before I come in, I watch some events. I was watching women's basketball before I got in, but because the events happen 8 hours ago or 7 hours ago or whatever, I find myself not as interested.
Mm-hmm.
The time difference is killing me right now.
Yeah. Boy, my wife and my daughters are just
they are into it,
hanging on every move of the gymnastics, especially.
Shut up.
What does it matter?
Is that Kerry Walsh Jennings still? She's not playing anymore.
Oh, no, that's a throwback.
That was a retro they show. Oh, all right. I was about to say, that's my
Misty
girl
May,
right there.
Kerry Walsh.
Yeah, that's my
dynamic duo.
Wasn't one of them married to a baseball player?
Yeah, Misty May trainer.
Misty May, yeah.
That's right.
Can I give you my real quick
please
Kerry Walsh story?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a beach volleyball event in Louisville. They had a beach volleyball
Beautiful
tour.
Beaches in Louisville.
Yeah, and I got to interview Misty May and Kerry Walsh, and I was a big fan, obviously. And they signed a volleyball for me. I still got it. Super stoked about that. Out at the bars.
Sell it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Don't sell it. Don't sell it.
I'm out at the bars later that night, just hanging out, me and the fellas doing our thing. Who do I see at the bar? Kerry Walsh. I'm like, oh my God, I just interviewed her. Like, we got a bond going, like that's my girl from earlier. So I go up and, we're talking, we start dancing and everything. And I'm like, is Kerry Walsh throwing me some rhythm? It's like, is she really? All of a sudden, I don't know.
Don't even write his own stuff.
I don't know if it might have been Juvenile Back That Thing Up came on or something like that. And all of a sudden I get a tap on my shoulder. Hey, man, are you trying to hit on my wife? And I was like, no, bro, that's my girl from earlier. And so I exited stage left. You know, I slowly slunk away, but I haven't spoke to her since that moment. Let me just say
it was a moment.
It was a moment.
Drapes, brushes with greatness.
Yes. What could have been, right? What could have been.
What could be for the Kings in free agency? This is from Andy Bailey, Bleacher Report. Top available free agents who could help most NBA teams. I think we only have 4 here.
Only
any
4?
of these potentially of any use to the Kings? What do you think, Drapes?
Let me hear 'em.
We start off with, and it's just the 4. I didn't make this.
That's not your list.
So
Yeah,
don't laugh at me when I say Evan Fournier.
No. And you're asking, could he help the Kings?
Right.
Like, that's the question.
Right.
Nah, we already got. I mean, what is he, a 2 guard, maybe a 3? This guy's career has just flamed out in recent years.
27 games in 22-23 and just 3 more for the Knicks last year before he was traded to Detroit, and he played 29 games there.
Yeah, exactly. He, you know, for some reason, he just is not getting any run anymore. Doesn't, you know, it doesn't do anything for me. I will say this. Watching him on Team France, I was thinking about this the other day. If there's one guy that would get hot against Team USA if they met, it'd be Evan Fournier. Guy ain't done nothing in the last 3 years, but the one game against Team USA, he might go off. So keep an eye on him.
A couple of years ago, 80 games started for the Knicks, 14 points a game, and shot 39% from 3.
What happened? Like, what? Don't play defense
He's
or something?
Not really a Tibbs type guy.
Yeah.
He'd have helped you more than your boy Sasha last year. But anyway, how about Robert Covington? We've talked about him.
Ooh, 3-and-D guy.
6'7", wingspan is 7'2", only 33.
Right. And you know what? I will say this. If they had a choice between doing nothing and getting Robert Covington, go get Robert Covington. Because to your point, Whitey, you just said it. I feel like he's like 37, 38, but he's only 33. It seems like he's been around forever. But he's the kind of guy that if you bring him in, he's going to have some DMP CDs. He's not going to raise a stink, but he's a veteran. He's been in big games. He can knock down shots. I take a fly. He could help us out.
He has, according to Bleacher Report, never had a negative defensive estimated plus minus.
Bam, there you go, right there.
And apparently that's one of the most trusted catch-all metrics in NBA front offices. And didn't shoot the ball well last year, but since the start of the 2020-21 season, he's hit 38% of his threes. So I'm with you.
Yes.
For me, he'd be my fallback.
Right.
If I can't get Cam or whoever else they may be interested in, Jeremy Grant or Dorian Finney-Smith or whatever, I may be giving him a call.
Yeah. And I don't know. You tell me. Do you think he's an everyday kind of player for us? Or might there be some games where, you know what, he's like the 10th man or something like that?
It depends on why he only averaged 17 minutes a game last year for 2 different teams. Has he just lost it? You know, sometimes guys just whoop.
Yeah.
But probably not in every game.
But a solid veteran, you know, that you could use here and there.
Yeah. We're halfway through the list here. Lonnie Walker, the 4th. Nice player, but another guard. I don't need another shooting guard.
You don't need, yeah.
I think he's 6'4"?
Yeah, he seems to be bigger than what he really is. And so if this was 3 months ago or 2 months ago, yeah, but you know, with the moves we've made and everything, undersized 3 that we would probably play him at.
He's a good player, but I don't know that he can help me. And then finally, last on the list is a restricted free agent, Isaac Okoro. And as you know, that's my guy. But right now, again, it's like I don't need what he would bring me.
What is Isaac Okoro? Is he a 2-3 or
he's
is
more
it?
of a 2? I think. A really good defender, 6'9" wingspan, and I think he made a good number of threes last year. But
6'5". Why isn't he signed yet? That's the biggest mystery. Like the Cavs might be doing this guy dirty right now. Go out there, find a deal. No takers. He might be on the Tyus Jones plan. 1-year deal somewhere, sort of, make good. And then, I saw this right here. This is from Hoops Rumors. One option they've explored is a sign and trade deal with the Nets.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that. You guys talked about that a couple of days ago.
For either DFS or maybe Cam.
Or Cam, exactly. Because, I mean, he's a good player, man.
I think Jordy would love to have him.
Right. a defensive player that you talked about, a guy that shot 39% from 3 last season, you know, a solid player.
By the way, the only teams with cap space left to make a meaningful offer to him would be Detroit and Utah.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Utah, if they wanted him, they'd already have him probably in Detroit.
Right.
You don't want to go there.
Yeah, you don't want to go to Detroit. That's where players go to their careers come to a crashing halt. You know.
So anything there? Maybe Covington is a fallback.
Covington probably the best of those. I would take a look at, but Covington's a big time fallback. I honestly would be shocked if the Kings do any free agent moves. I still think that the trade possibility is out there for them, but they do have their full mid-level. But if you haven't used it now, like you said, those guys are sitting there. How come you haven't pulled it and got those guys?
I think they're playing the waiting game on Cam and some of the other players. And they're just, all right, we know what you want. We ain't going to give you that. Let's stay in touch and let us know when you change your mind, right?
Yeah.
And it could take a long time.
It could take a while. It could, and to your point, might the Nets become desperate? Like, dang, I thought the market would be more robust. Maybe we'll have to lower our price on a Cam Johnson. And so I think we do know Monty is a patient guy, reptilian patience, right? And so I wouldn't be shocked if a trade is made. It would shock me if we signed anybody free agent-wise.
Speaking of Bleacher Report, Jay, we have Dan Favale coming up, right?
Favale.
Favale.
Dan Favale. My mistake.
No
It won't happen
mistakes,
again.
baby. No,
Dan
no.
Favale joining us from Bleacher Report, host of the Hardwood Knocks pod. 2 weeks next on Sactown Sports.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Sacramento, Dirks Bentley's coming to town. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Parmalee, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPfest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel, Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Before we bring out our next guest, Dan Favale, Drapes, here's the deal. He hosts a podcast called Hardwood Knocks. A couple weeks ago, they had a segment in which they posed questions that all the teams in the West have to answer. I don't know what their question for the Kings was, but what would you say is a question the Kings have to answer between now and the start of the season or this year?
Are we talking roster wise or just in general?
Any which way.
I would say, knowing the national media, it would be a question about defense.
Yes.
It would be a question about
I was
defense.
just thinking that.
Yeah.
Let's find out. Nice enough to join us. NBA reporter for Bleacher Report, as I mentioned, host of the Hardwood Knocks pod, Dan Favale. How are you today, Dan?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good. So we were just trying to guess, actually, and I apologize. Haven't heard it yet, but we know on your pod about a week ago or so, you guys posed questions for each team in the Western Conference, questions that those teams must answer. What was your question for the Kings?
I think me and my co-host might have had separate questions, but we obviously wanted to know what was going to be the deal with the DeMar DeRozan fit. How would that pan out on both sides of the ball?
Mm-hmm. And what do you expect?
I think offensively they're going to figure it out. I do have some spacing questions with some of their top lineups, but you look at the level of shot creator that DeMar DeRozan is and the ball and body movement that you generate as a Kings offense that just has the bonus in it. I think the improvement of De'Aaron Fox over the past couple of years is big. Keegan Murray's a natural to work off the ball. I have very few concerns about the offense. I think that they needed another outside-in creator, and DeRozan gives them that, even if you would like to have someone who might shoot more threes. Defensively, I know the Kings were better on that end of the floor last year. Some of their top-end lineups to close the season were really good. I tend to be super high on what Keegan Murray has been defensively and what he's going to be defensively. The emergence of Keon Ellis is big. The improvement, De'Aaron Fox felt more malleable, less stiff on that end last year too. And I know that Kings fans have been adamant that Harrison Barnes was not good defensively, and I totally understand that. DeMar DeRozan is not going to be able to even be thrown on the same type of players that Harrison Barnes was, just because of the player archetype, the build that he is. And so I have some questions leading into that, and I'm wondering just how much they've saddled specifically Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray with moving forward.
All right, so some question marks, obviously, and we'll have to see how it plays out. Dan, at its peak, at its ceiling, where do you see the Sacramento Kings at?
I think they're one of those teams that you put in sort of that top four conversation for the West, where it's, could you see them having a lower floor? Absolutely. But when you're talking about the top teams in the Western Conference that are guaranteed to be locks in the top four, I'd probably stop after Denver, Oklahoma City, and Minnesota, and that's with no disrespect to Dallas, Phoenix, Memphis. The list goes on. They feel like at their peak, if everything goes right, if they get good health, if they get a bounce back year from Kevin Huerter, or able to move him for someone who feels more of a positional need, they're certainly a team that I think can buy for home court advantage in the first round.
Dan Favale is with us from Bleacher Report, host of the Hardwood Knocks pod. Dan, in your opinion, which team in the West is poised to improve the most this season from what they are right now?
That's a great question. I mean, Memphis is the low-hanging fruit just because they were so bad last year amid injuries. I would keep an eye on the San Antonio Spurs. I know some people think they can kind of sneak into the top six. That feels a little ambitious, but they absolutely walloped opponents in the minutes that Victor Wembanyama played with Trey Jones. And you add now Chris Paul to that point guard rotation, who's going to be able to get him the ball in even easier spots, and then just cake in, he's another year seasoned relative to NBA experience. That's a team that I think could surprise some people, and I would be shocked if they finished top six, in part because I don't know if they want to, but I think they could win a bunch more games. They were at 22 last year, and I don't think it's wild to think that they're going to get in that 35 to 39 range.
Dan, I know you talked about San Antonio. This is sort of along the same lines. A couple of years ago, Minnesota, OKC, those teams were in the back of the West. Then all of a sudden they made a leap. You said San Antonio can make a leap, obviously not that high, but is there somebody on the back end that we're not thinking of? Maybe a New Orleans Pelicans, maybe a Houston Rockets that could challenge for home court in the Western Conference?
I so badly want the answer to be the New Orleans Pelicans, but between Zion's health and whatever is going on with the center position right now, I don't know that you could pencil them in. You mentioned the Rockets. That's super interesting. They cobbled together basically like a top 5-7 defense. And if they're going to get improvement on the offensive end with Reed Shepherd, and Thompson maybe staying healthy, adding that element, Şengün is going to get better. Can Jalen Green start out better rather than just having his typical post-All-Star streak? They're also a team that's built to make upgrades via trade if they want to. And so that's a team, just based off what it accomplished defensively last year, coupled with internal improvement and the addition of Reed Shepherd, that, they wouldn't shock me if we say there's a surprise team in the top six that just turns the Western Conference upside down. Houston feels like a good bet.
Dan Favale is with us from Bleacher Report. Full disclosure, I don't think this is going to work, but you're the guest. What do you think of Denver's addition of Russ? How's that going to work out for the Nuggets?
I tend to be with you. The fact that Nikola Jokic wanted him, it intrigues me, but this is, year 7 of wondering, will Russ do more off the ball? Will he set more screens? Maybe Denver's a team to unlock that, but I honestly, I can't envision it. And on top of that, you have Peyton Watson, you have Dario Saric. The spacing can get sort of skimpy if you're planning on having Russ in the second unit with those guys. And if you're planning on playing him a bunch with Jokic, well, whose minutes is that coming at the expense of when you look at your top 5 guys, even if he isn't starting? So Denver's in a precarious position, and Russ feels like a high-risk acquisition that doesn't necessarily have a high-reward outcome.
Hey, Dan, I'm watching the Olympics. I'm watching LeBron do his thing. I'm watching Anthony Davis play elite basketball on both ends of the floor. And, some people are saying, they're looking good. Maybe the Lakers can make a run. Why do you think they haven't had, the two stars, sure, they're putting up numbers, but they aren't having team success. What do you think about the Lakers this year and the way AD and LeBron, the synergy they seem to be playing with now?
I think when you look at last year with how much they both played in general and also played together, and then what they're both doing with Team USA, it makes you angry that the Lakers haven't been more aggressive to upgrade the roster. And I don't know what moves via trade were available to them, but to basically do nothing this summer, that's a failure because you're on LeBron's window and he's still one of the best players in the world. Anthony Davis, the stuff he does on defense is fantastic. As of right now, like, I wouldn't have the Lakers in my top 8 in the Western Conference. They have 2 top-end guys and a bunch of question marks after that. And to not make improvements off there, I think, is a massive failure on the front office's part.
Kyle mentioned the Olympics, so I got to ask you, Dan, and maybe you don't care. I went on 3-on-3. I went from wondering why it's an Olympic sport to not caring to now I'm really frustrated and embarrassed that, you know, that the U.S. men's 3-on-3 team is so bad. What can we do to fix this? Are you concerned about it at all? Or is this actually an embarrassment for those of us here living in this country where we invented the game of basketball?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is embarrassing. I think it just comes back to, like, can we get bigger names other than, like, a Jimmer Fredette involved here? What would it take to want better players to be more consistently involved? And, hey, maybe make it an all-star game event, and then the NBA players will actually care, and you can open it up to them. I don't have a solution, but that might be one way to go.
Yeah, better players is always a good place
to
start.
Yeah,
yes,
right?
yes.
No doubt about it. Hey, Dan, you know, as we were looking at the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns, I think, you know, made some underrated moves, man. I like what they've done this offseason, especially when you consider they were pretty much hamstrung, you know, handcuffed. They couldn't do a whole lot. Could the Suns be a dark horse in the West?
They certainly could. I feel like every team you're asking me about, I'm giving you the same answer.
Right.
The talent at the top is undeniable. And I mean, just to get Tyus Jones on a minimum is a home run. They have so many, I would call them just non-wings on this team right now. And I don't know what that looks like when, if Tyus is going to start, that means no Grayson Allen. And so your wing defender is either Devin Booker or Bradley Beal, and that gets weird. Who are you closing with? And also just Yusuf Nurkic was fine last year, and they have Mason Plumlee right now. Neither of those guys really work in what we've seen with Mike Budenholzer's past defenses. And some people said, well, they play KD at the 5. Will Bol get minutes? Those are imperfect and probably intermittent solutions, if they're solutions at all. So I still think they have a ways to go, but you just look at the names on this roster offensively and just in terms of guards plus KD, they could certainly do some damage. And look, they were pretty good defensively last year overall. So they certainly could be a dark horse, but I think I trust them less than more stable forces in the West, like the Kings would be there, Dallas would be there, teams like that.
Dan Favale is with us. We look at the Kings roster. We were doing this yesterday, and there's a lot more guards than forwards. And so we're wondering whether the Kings might be able to get something done for Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jeremy Grant, Kuzma, whomever. My question for you, Dan, is do you think it's likely we see from any teams in the NBA any more significant roster moves between now and the start of the season?
I'll say yes, just because I root for chaos, and it always seems like we get one of those just sort of late summer or, post-August 1st moves. I think we might see more action pick up after we figure out what happens with Lauri Markkanen in Utah. Come August 5th, does he sign the extension? And if he doesn't, what does that mean? So I think we'll get one more. I don't know if it'll be on the level of Lauri Markkanen, but you said a name I think would be a fantastic fit for the Kings. I know some fans want Cam Johnson, but I love the idea of DFS in Sacramento. And with where Brooklyn is right now, it feels like there's the potential for something to get done there.
Yeah, you would think Brooklyn's trying to be sellers here, before the season and auction off some of their pieces. Dan, we talk so much about the West and how difficult it is, no doubt about it. But are we really looking at a season where we wonder who's going to dethrone the Celtics? I mean, are they the team obviously to beat? Yes, but is anybody even in their league right now?
I think I would probably put Oklahoma City in the same tier as the Celtics. They addressed, I think, 2 of their 3 biggest needs, where you replace Josh Giddey with an actual shooter, which makes life easier on everybody else on the floor. And then you got some size, a rebounding presence, and some offensive dynamism if you want to play big up front in Isaiah Hartenstein. And if we forget, like, a lot of the players on this team are just going to get better. They're still built to make a move if they need to go out and get another from-scratch scorer type with a little bit of size. So I have them in Boston's tier, and they're probably the only team I have on the same level, though I keep staring at the Sixers, and I'm amazed at the body of work they did, but the caveat of Joel Embiid's health, I'm just reticent to put them as high.
And who would get Favale's flowers for having the best offseason league-wide to this point?
It's probably between OKC or Philly. Philly just put on a masterclass of what to do with cap space. Like, they spent a ton of money on Paul George, and they have an actual rotation that they were able to fill out, which is big. And I think what OKC did, not just getting Hartenstein, but that Josh Giddey trade was a home run for them. They give up no picks this summer, and they have $1 trillion. And also the deals that I think flew under the radar, declining team options for Aaron Wiggins and Isaiah Joe and getting them on friendly contracts that decline. That's going to make them interesting trade pieces, or if not contributors. And so I would keep my eye on Oklahoma City, not just as a team that can win it all right now, but if there's a gap or a hole they need to fill, they're built to do all sorts of moves, whether they're big or small.
Man, Dan Favale, OKC. Everybody seems to be pushing their chips in on OKC. I know you mentioned Denver earlier. We talked about, Russell Westbrook, but the loss of KCP. Maybe I'm in the minority, Dan. I think Denver's window might have already closed. Am I being too premature with that?
No, I love it, because let's penalize ownership or front offices that are just needlessly cheap. And I understand that they want these younger guys to get run. You had the ability to keep KCP and give more playing time and reps to Christian Brown, Julian Strawther, Peyton Watson. And so I think this was a disastrous offseason for them. Nikola Jokic is age 30, and you're trying to bring along these guys that probably won't be ready for another 2 or 3 years. And I think they'll still be a good team, but for you to wonder whether their actual inner circle title contention window is closed, I think it's a fair question.
Check out the Hardwood Knocks pod, and make sure you're following on Twitter and at Bleacher Report Dan Favale for his NBA insight. Thank you, Dan. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your summer. We'll talk to you soon.
You as well. Take care, guys. Thank you.
Take care. When we come back, we'll tell you who NBA general managers say, oh, yeah, this guy's going to be Rookie of the Year. Next on Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
When your game goes bad, getting back to basics is the quickest way to get on track. Many problems can be traced to forgetting the first lessons a good golf instructor covers: grip, alignment, and posture. If you're not holding the club properly, if you're not aligned to the target, and if you're not in an athletic posture, when you take the club back, you'll have to manipulate it somehow to get it back square to the target. That's when bad things happen. When I find myself leaving shots out to the right, I check my grip on the club. I check to see that I'm holding the club lightly in my fingers and that my hands are close together. Check to see that the V's formed by my thumbs and forefingers point to my right shoulder. Take a practice swing and feel as though the hands are working together and turning over naturally through the impact area. Bad alignment makes a good shot go astray, and bad posture makes it difficult to generate club head speed. If you're having similar problems, a brush up with a PGA professional will get you going again. For Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
DQ presents... Picture this. Picture the DQ $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Not just a cheeseburger, a bacon cheeseburger, plus fries, drink, and a sundae, all full-sized, all for $7. Because everything's better with bacon. Everything's also better with a side of fries, a refreshing drink, and a sundae to finish. Yum. The $7 bacon cheeseburger meal deal. Now for a limited time on the $7 meal deal lineup. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car.
How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now, but I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code GIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code GIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code GIFT.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
I'm on my knees. I could be wrong, but I get the sense, Trace, that Gordon Hayward was one of your favorites, and he has announced his retirement.
Gordon Hayward is my guy. His wife, Robin, love her. You know why I have an affinity for Gordon Hayward?
Why is that?
Obviously, my time in Boston with him.
Because he
what
almost
happened
beat
with
Duke.
him. Yeah, he
That's
almost,
what I like about him.
right? But, the injury was horrific. But when they came to Sacramento, he was on Charlotte then. He signed McKiddo's jersey. They had Hayward jerseys. He walked over, spent some time with them. And he shares a birthday with my daughter.
Oh.
Yep. Maybe the greatest birthday in the history of civilization.
Really?
Better than LeBron and Tiger Woods.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter, Gordon Hayward, and Kyrie Irving.
Wow.
Yeah, March 23rd. So Gordon Hayward is my guy. Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know you had talked about maybe if he wasn't retiring, maybe he could bring his talents here.
Yeah, I would have loved to seen him have come here, be, a small forward, backup small forward for us. 15 minutes a night, not asking for a whole lot out of him, but, his body and his production. And when you look at what could have been, how we always talk about Grant Hill and Penny, and I'm not putting Gordon Hayward, but that injury really changed the trajectory of his career.
When he was on the Jazz before that injury, he was phenomenal.
Whitey.
Kind of laboring in obscurity a little bit, but woo, he was a good player.
I think it was, and I might be wrong in terms of the years, his first 5 or 7 years, he improved in every statistical category every year. Points, field goal percentage, 3-point percentage. It went up year after year after year. This guy was an all-star level talent that on one night his career changed.
During Summer League, ESPN's Jonathan Givony and Jeremy Wu, they talked to 20 NBA executives and scouts, and they asked for their predictions and opinions on the league's incoming rookies. So they ended up picking the best pick of the draft. I know Hoops Hype says they named their favorite to win Rookie of the Year. We might semantically that might not be exactly correct,
right.
Who do you think they picked? You have any idea? He got the most votes. Took home the most votes. One guy, best pick according to these scouts and executive watching the Summer League.
I would say.
You want me to give you what they said about him first? And
I'll know 100% then. Then go ahead.
One executive said, blank, for example, has blown me away with his feel for the game and confidence. His coach called him a natural leader. Just continues to make the right play. That's something that's hard to teach. Obviously, that was in Summer League.
After you read that, I changed who I was thinking. I was thinking you were going to say Dalton Connect, but now you're talking about Reed Shepherd.
That's correct.
Jay, come on, big fella. I'm just warming up for the quiz.
Man, you might want to get hot quick.
Good deal of optimism around the league surrounding Shepherd's future. Prevailing thought is that he might be the next Kentucky Wildcats guard to fully blossom upon his arrival in the NBA. And one Eastern Conference exec said, Shepherd is going to help Houston right away. I think he has a chance to be an all-star down the road.
Ooh.
I know we've wondered, you especially, about how many minutes he's going to get on that team in that backcourt.
I tell you what, and as you were reading that and talking, I said, let me look up Houston's roster because Reed Shepherd is going to make somebody expendable. Somebody is going to be dealt by the Houston Rockets. Maybe not now, Maybe not before the season, but I would say by trade deadline. If Reed Sheppard is the guy we saw in Summer League, guy we saw at Kentucky, and if everybody's right about him on how he has to get minutes. So when you look at a guy like Jalen Green, phenomenal player, you're going to have to pay him. Do you maybe swing a deal and trade Jalen Green? I'm just hypothesizing out here.
Was he the number 3 pick? Jalen Green?
Yeah, Jalen Green.
Really high pick. 2 or 3.
Really high pick. Yeah, he, number 2 overall pick back in 2021. Fantastic player.
Mm-hmm.
But he sort of plays the same position as Reed Sheppard. And I look at, a guy like, not Amin Thompson, but Cam Whitmore, listed as a forward. Maybe they run him at some 2, but they have so many young players. Might have Van Vliet be on the trade block. Just hand it over to the young guys. Might have Dylan Brooks be on the trade block.
Jay's
hand it over to the young guy.
That on the YouTube artwork that Simone did.
Oh, yeah.
And she's got each of us at the station is on our faces on the body of an Olympian. Dylan Brooks is Jay. It took me a while to figure out that was you, Jay.
Man.
Yeah.
He's
You're
a
proud
dog.
of that, aren't you?
I like Dylan.
I got some surfer.
I would have loved. Yeah, I think he's from South Africa.
She texted me because I asked her, who is that? She said, I don't know. But then she said, John somebody. John Florence, USA surfer.
Ah.
And Trace, of course, is the station's LeBron.
Oh, yeah, of course. That
what
was
you watch
so
on YouTube
perfect
during the commercials. So
and here's the thing. And when you see it out there during the YouTube break, check it out. Everybody else's, you're kind of like, I don't know about that. I don't know. But when you see drapes with LeBron, like, come on, man. That's a compliment. You know how caricatures sometimes accentuate, some of your features.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes it's not as flattering
because it's an exaggeration.
It's kind of
goofy.
Yeah. This is spot on. There it is, right there, lazy. Look at the guns.
Yours looks good, but so does Jay's. Jay's looks really good.
I look like Dylan looks like me.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a couple that are. I'm like, what? I had to kind of double take and triple take to really find out. Like, who is that?
Now, I will say Simone and Frankie Clicks are pretty good also.
Yeah.
Where's Frankie at? Oh, Frankie's DeChambeau. I see.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Who's is Emil? Who's he?
I don't know.
Is he the Monster Energy guy right there with the tats and everything like that?
I don't know who that is.
But no, LeBron with the arms up.
Is that Nigel Houston or Huston,
it might be.
The skateboarder?
Man, he's been on the scene for like 20 years now, Nigel Houston. It might be. It might be.
Anyway,
yeah.
All right. And I think
Allen's is nice.
Allen's
is hilarious.
Yeah.
And I don't think he likes it, but he fits Noah Lyles. He looks like a Noah Lyles.
Yeah. So if you're not on YouTube, Allen tweeted that. So thank you to
who's Luca? Is anybody Luca, or is that like who's that supposed to be?
I would have to check it. I'm not sure.
You know, look at our YouTube page right now. You got the YouTube screen up. Pull that up. Look at Luca right there.
Oh, that's
who's
that's Nate.
That's Nate.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Nate.
That's Nate.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then you got
Brendan's a tennis player.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
all right.
Who's top left next to Carmichael Dave?
I think
that's Chris.
Claude.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but some swimmer. I don't know. Carmichael Dave's the funniest one. Anyway, having fun at the Olympics. So when are the Kings going to add something?
Oh yeah,
Rapes.
When
are they going to add somebody?
Whitey, I'm giving you the tea here, big fella. I don't think they're going to add anybody by way of the free agent.
Okay,
we could do all this free agent market. We could talk about top 20 free agents still left. I just don't see it happening. Trade, when are they going to do something? Here it is, August 1st. We just had Dan Favale on, and he said he expects more movement to come after this marketing situation is settled. And here's the thing about marketing, and I may be wrong, so correct me if I am. If he signs his extension next week, August 6th, he can't be traded immediately. I think you got to wait 6 months, right?
Yeah, but you can do a sign and trade maybe.
A sign,
with somebody else.
Yeah, it was sort of like Harrison
that.
Barnes. We had to wait till a certain date,
right?
And so if Markkanen signs, then to me that signals, all right, he's off the market for now. Let's do some other deals for teams out there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've heard the report too. Danny Ainge might be a buyer at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Might be trying to get Ingram or somebody like that.
I don't know. I would think if he liked Ingram, we would already know that. But either way, him being more aggressive and trying to win this year makes more sense than trading Markkanen. I never understood why, unless someone said, we'll give you our whole roster and every draft pick between now and 2050. I don't think he ever had any intention of trading him.
Right. It doesn't, because he's already unloaded 2 stars in Mitchell and Rudy Gobert.
Mm-hmm.
Markkanen was one of the pieces you got back to build around. You know who Markkanen was for them to a lesser extent, but he was their Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. How the Clippers traded Shai to OKC for Paul George. Well, the Cavs got Donovan Mitchell. Utah got Markkanen. Now you start building around that. It doesn't make sense to trade him, especially when you got all these picks.
Never made sense.
Use those picks to go get some talent around him.
Yeah, and again, not to be redundant, but I give Monty a ton of credit for recognizing that and going, okay, we're going to do something else.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we're not going to wait around here. We're going to pivot off of that.
Don't you think Danny and the Jazz have to be a little disappointed with Walker Kessler this year? He was okay.
He had a step back. Yeah, his year, he took a step back. His rookie year, wasn't he on the FIBA team last year? Remember, he was on the international squad last year.
Right.
People were so high on this guy, and now he's part of trade rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he took a step back.
I know that the Malik signing was great, bringing him back, and Rose is great.
You want more, huh?
I'm getting impatient again.
Come on.
I'm getting impatient for that.
Enjoy this off.
Look at the roster like we did yesterday. It's like, oh, come on. What are we doing? When we come back, there's only one reason to watch or listen to tonight's Hall of Fame game, and we'll have it for you on Sactown Sports.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down.
This is Pretection. Yep, Pretection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have Off, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Hey, get ready to rock, groove, and have a blast with the Sactown Sports live events calendar. We've got an unbeatable lineup of shows that you won't want to miss. It's Brett Young and Chase Rice at Thunder Valley on August 3rd. Plus, Jason Mraz and the Superband will be rocking Thunder Valley on August 9th. Then head out of the heat to higher elevation for the Truckee Music Festival on August 9th and 10th, featuring Kip Moore and Sublime. And here's your Live Nation lineup. On August 4th, don't miss the Outlaw Music Festival at Toyota Amphitheater, featuring Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, and John Mellencamp. On August 15th, catch Donnie Osmond at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Then, on August 22nd, Creed Fisher takes the stage at Ace of Spades. And on September 10th, enjoy the timeless sounds of the Doobie Brothers at Toyota Amphitheater. Rounding out this rockin' lineup is the Lodi Grape Festival from September 12th through the 15th, featuring Joe Nichols and Smash Mouth. For information and tickets, visit grapefestival.com. And then stay tuned to Sactown Sports for exclusive updates and your chance to win tickets.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
We're humbled to be bringing you tonight, truly humbled to be bringing you the Hall of Fame game right here on Sactown Sports. The Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans. And it's real football, kind of, back.
Kinda.
I always make it a point to at least watch, a couple plays or something. Cause like, welcome back, old pigskin friend.
What time does it kick off? I might actually
5
watch. I forget.
So 5:07 or whatever.
Yeah, I forget. Being out here on the West Coast, games start a little earlier. So before I hit Dave and Buster's tonight, and they'll have it on at DMB.
Sure.
So I'll be having that in the background, and maybe even on the drive home, listen right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think any of the Bears are playing. I don't know how many of the Texans are playing. The main reason to be watching is because of the new kickoff rule, right?
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's going to be weird, and teams aren't really going to do anything out of the ordinary until the season starts because they don't want to tip their hand, but it's going to be weird because it's got, let's see here. The kickoff team will tee the ball up at their own 35-yard line. Once the kick is in the air, is when the changes are going to be felt. The kickoff team is not allowed to run as soon as the ball is kicked. They only begin running down the field once the ball is caught by a returner or hits the ground.
Yes, but
they're waiting. You got the kicker back here, and the defense team's way
up there. Yeah, closer, right? And what are they separated by? 10 yards or something like that?
I believe that's correct. And you got the landing zone. New name for the area between the goal line and the 20-yard line on kickoffs.
I didn't ask.
Well, I know you didn't ask, but I thought
that commercial plays every day in the middle of our show.
It just kicks off.
Hey, that is crazy.
Speaking of kickoffs, very good.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I see how this is going to play out, though, Whitey. You know what? This will be one of the nights where your boy is off social media because it's going to happen, and people are going to be like, what is this? This sucks. I miss the old days. Like this. You know what this kickoff rule reminds me of?
What's that?
And I'm going to be dating myself. Remember the old football game as kids we used to play where it was electric and you plug it in and the electric and the guys be moving? That's how, for some reason, that's how it feels to me. The way they line up and, everybody's just standing and waiting. And then all of a sudden you plug that thing in and everybody's going to go, that's how it's going to be. It feels like to
electric
me.
Football
that was
is
great.
Was it? To me, there's never been a larger gap between how cool a game looked and how lame it actually was.
Dude, come on, man.
It's a great idea, but then you turn it on and the guy won't go the right way.
Nah, but you had to rig it, Whitey. Put a little weight on it or something like that, a little extra paper to weigh it down,
now,
then it moves a little bit better.
When you play, you're younger than I am. Did you have the electric football where there's switches on the bases? Because they came up with
yes.
Switches.
I didn't have those. You didn't have that? No. Yeah, I had the switches on the base.
We didn't have that technology. So I know there's one guy my brother used to call him, there's Joe Circle.
Right, he just kept going around. Oh, man. We are dating ourselves right there. We're old men, grumpy old men.
Still
right
around.
Here. Is it still around?
Yeah.
Dude, I would buy one right now.
I just sold a bunch of the players for
Why do you keeping those things?
Chunk.
Why do you keep things?
To sell them for a decent chunk of change on eBay.
You got a big collection?
I got a nice little.
You got an eBay store? You got a store?
No.
eBay?
No.
If I go to eBay and look up your.
No, it's not. I don't have enough stuff there yet. But anyway, my point is there are collectors of those things, and people I think still play it. And
are they paying big money for them?
Great. Oh. Electric football. You look at the box like this is the greatest thing ever.
And then you actually get it home, and I'm gonna look on Amazon right now. The problem is, even if they made it new today, it'd probably be cheaper, and
I don't know what I mean. I'd like to think it'd be better, but you're
right. But the quality wouldn't be, and the quality was not good back in the day. But no, I'm looking it up right now.
I got once for Christmas. I think it was the Super Bowl edition. So it was the Cowboys and the Dolphins, and the field was painted like the Orange Bowl. It was pretty awesome.
Hold on here. Let me show you right here. They still have it. Check this out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm going to buy that, actually.
How much is it?
$93.59. If with Amazon Prime, I'd get it by Sunday.
Huh.
So that was a classic
teams,
game.
Or is it just yellow against red or something?
I don't know. It has the NFL logo on there, so I think it's authorized.
Teams, you could probably pick your teams.
Right.
Yeah. Tournament, electric football tournament.
Dude, this is pretty sweet.
Now, in electric football, do you have to, when you play, do you have to use the current kickoff rules? Because that'd be
right. That'd be right. Yeah, but how would you do that, right? I don't know how you would do that.
One thing that stinks about the new rule is onside kickoffs. I think you can only do them in the fourth quarter.
Right.
And you have to declare, we're going to try for an onside kick, which is.
Really? No way.
Yes.
You got to tell the team, this is what we're doing. We're going
kicks
to
are only permitted to occur in the fourth quarter. The team planning the onside kick must declare their intention to officials, and only a team trailing is allowed to declare for an onside kick, which would mean one of the great players in the you're right. One of the great plays in the history of the Super
game.
Bowl.
Yes, yes.
The Saints against the Colts.
Right.
Starting the second half with an onside kick. Can't do it anymore.
Can't do it anymore. Like the element of surprise is ruined now. You can't do it.
Mm-hmm. I'll be honest, though. I'm surprised we still have kickoffs. You go back like 2011 when the league was so concerned about concussions,
right?
Actually, the lawsuits. And I thought, oh, they're going to do away with the kickoff. And that day may still be coming, but maybe this staves off that day for a little longer.
There are a lot of people who still think the kickoff is one of the most exciting plays in all of football. Like, you know, it's just the thought of a long 100-yard return, just the players smashing into each other, you know. And the thing I love about kickoffs is you always have that one player that receives the ball 2 yards deep and thinks, nope, I'll be the one that break it, right?
Yeah.
And then he get tackled at the 8-yard line or something like that. It's like, dude, just take the knee, move it out to the 25. What are you doing?
It's one of the first things I remember about watching football as a kid when I was too young to even understand, you know, what was going on. But that whole thing where they line up to kick off and
boom, right? That's
that was really cool.
That anticipation, it builds, right?
Yeah.
And think about this. Opening kickoff on Sunday, 10 o'clock comes around. We're excited for a game. And now the opening kickoff now is, you know, what? A pooch kick, basically. And then
I don't know
everybody's standing around waiting.
I'm not sure what it is. I think you can have 2 return guys. And I know Debo says with the new rules, he says, oh, this is going to be great. He says, I want to return kicks.
He thinks it'll be more.
He thinks you beat 1 or 2 guys, and then it's just you and the kicker.
Yeah. The question is, in terms of the formation, if I'm game planning, if I'm a coach and I'm kicking, I'm angling to the corner. And I'm having most of my guys on that side. Because if you're just staying still and you're way across the other side of the field, there's zero chance you're going to make a tackle. And so I'm interested to see how they actually line up, the kicking team, how they actually line up.
Mm-hmm. Now you're thinking, well, I'll just kick it out of the back of the end zone. Kickoffs that go out the back of the end zone are treated as a touchback and result in possession at the 30-yard line.
30-yard line.
So they want to discourage you from doing that.
Right.
But they're all about safety.
Right. It's we want the kickoffs, but not, you know, too much.
It's going to be weird, and it's going to be significant. And my fear is, Jay, you know, the 49ers in recent years, as great as they've been, sometimes it seems like special teams are kind of a
average.
Afterthought. And I'm worried that they're going to get just
creamed,
boat raced
right?
on this by some teams. That's going to take them 8 games to figure out how to handle the new kickoffs. I hope I'm wrong, but
I wonder if it's something the Niners are going to have to actually pay attention to now.
Yeah.
Game plan for a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So other than that, you know, and other than the fact that it's fun to have football back, you know, let's face it, it's probably not a must watch for the whole game tonight. You could be watching the Angels and the Rockies in the third quarter.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, we go off the air at 5 o'clock today. Kick off, like you said, at 5:07. I might actually stick around just to watch the opening kickoff, just to see that very first one and how it looks. And, you know, before I get out of here and go handle my business, obviously. So
one of the things I used to like as a kid about watching football when it came back is seeing who's got new uniforms, new helmets. Now we have that on the internet. We don't have to wait for the games.
Yeah.
But did you see that the Packers are going to wear all white uniforms for at least one game this year?
Really?
They're calling it winter preview, or winter is coming. The Packers going to be wearing all white, including white helmets.
They're doing too much.
The Jags are going to have white helmets.
They're doing too much. They're doing too much.
A game or two.
They're doing too much. The Packers, you know, have an iconic jersey, an iconic logo.
It's like the Yankees changing their jerseys or something.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. What are those helmets that you can wear now that, you know, to help
Guardian helmet, Guardian caps.
Do you think anybody's actually going to do that during the game? Like wear one during it, because you can
I
wear
haven't
it,
heard
right?
of anybody who's going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, in the interest of safety.
It'll kind of be like shooting free throws underhands. Like maybe you should, but no one's going to.
Nobody's going to do it, right? Right. I might be the one to do it, man. I would probably do it. You know,
I'm with you.
If it's going to help you out, be
Right.
safer. It's not going to affect your play at all in terms of how effective you are.
Especially
I don't
if
think.
I was an offensive lineman or something.
Right. You're down there. Come on now. You're getting smashed in. I definitely wear the Guardian cap.
Yeah. They'll be allowed, as you say, NFL players allowed to wear the protective Guardian cap over their helmet in games this season.
Dang.
I don't know if anybody's going to do it yet.
A lot
We'll
of
see.
changes.
Yeah. But why do we love football so much, Kyle? Why is everybody so crazy about pro football in this country? I
That's a
bet you this
great
game
question.
tonight's going to do great numbers,
Right.
even though it's on against
Even
the
it's on
freaking
us against the Olympics. Yeah. Even though Caleb Williams is not playing, even though we don't think CJ is playing, right? We haven't heard
right.
whether he's playing, but there's something about football, man. And I don't think it's the gambling. I don't think it's fantasy football. I think the actual sport attracts people.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know why, man.
Mike Jones, national NFL
Mike
writer for The
Jones.
Athletic, joins us when we come right back to Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What's wrong? My travel rewards card didn't earn enough miles for my vacation.
Are you crying? Are you crying because of that other credit card?
Uh-huh.
Well, switch to the Capital One Venture card. Venture lets you redeem miles on any travel purchase.
Really?
Yep, and you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every single day. The Capital One Venture card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Oh, wait.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sactown Sports.
Can you believe it? The NFL returns in about an hour. You can hear the game here on Sactown Sports. Nice enough to join us with more on the upcoming season and the Hall of Fame weekend. National NFL writer for The Athletic, Mike Jones. Mike, happy Hall of Fame game day, if that's a thing. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fine. We appreciate your time very much. What stands out to you about this weekend's new Hall of Fame class? That was a great piece you wrote about Andre Johnson.
Yeah, it's funny. When we're growing up, we're seeing maybe some guys that we haven't seen play being inducted, and now I guess we're getting old because everybody that's going in just about you remember seeing and following their whole careers. So in a way, it makes it a little more special because you feel like you have been on the journey with some of these guys the whole way, and so it's cool to see those guys go in and get the their rightful place in the Hall of Fame.
Mike Jones joining us here. Mike, Kyle Draper here, man. Excited for football to come back. I'm bummed my guy Caleb Williams not going to be playing tonight. What do you make of and what do you sense is the vibe around the organization, the team, the fan base about how great this guy can be? And can the Bears actually make a playoff push this year?
Well, we'll see. They're in a very tough division because they've got the Detroit Lions who were, in the NFC Championship game, and they have the team like the Green Bay Packers, who I think really could make some trouble for a lot of teams this year. Another year with Jordan Love entering his second season, full season as a starter. I think he's going to take another big leap. They've got a new defensive coordinator. They've got, Josh Jacobs added to their offense. So the Packers could be scary. So it's going to be tough for the Bears to make a jump all the way to the playoffs. Now, I do feel like what Caleb Williams has to work with is a lot more reliable, better supporting cast than what Justin Fields had to work with. Just all the way down from the support as far as the offensive line. They've invested in that. The defense, they've continued to beef that up. He's got all the playmakers he needs at the skill positions, and just the vision of this coaching staff and general manager, you can tell that they're fully invested in him, which wasn't something that Justin Fields could really say. So I think that there is an energy, there is an excitement, a renewed, sense of life within that franchise. But, it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. I would love to even just see like a series of Caleb Williams tonight. But, this is the modern day NFL where starting quarterbacks hardly play in the preseason, and some of them don't play at all. So I guess they're trying to be careful with Caleb Williams, and we won't get to see him tonight.
Catching up with Mike Jones, NFL writer for The Athletic. 49ers obviously look like the favorite for what that's worth in the NFC. In your view, Mike, what is their biggest issue going forward this year and trying to get back to the Super Bowl?
Well, I think for them, they've got a lot of talented pieces. They've got some guys they got to sort some contract stuff out there. Brandon Aiyuk, Trent Williams, some of those guys. But I think if they can have everybody on the field and stay healthy is their biggest thing, because it seems like every year they're very close. They have some injuries they have to deal with, some adversity they have to go with. But again, if they can keep everybody on the field, they have a chance to go back there. I do think, though, like I said, the Packers are a team that's going to be scary. I think the Eagles might bounce back. So they're definitely going to have some competition there. Even in their whole division, the Rams I think are going to be better. So I think there's a good shot for the 49ers. But again, it's not like the door is wide open for them. They're going to be tested as they go out there this season once again.
Hey, Mike, Drapes here again, man. I'm from Philly. I'll be honest with you. I'm an Eagles guy through and through. What difference should I expect with this team this year? Give me some hope. Give me some positivity. Why might this be the Eagles' year?
Well, I mean, when you look at them, last year was just weird, and I guess we can call it the Super Bowl hangover. They started out on such a hot note. They won 10 games, but the way they started, it was still, even though they won, things were just not quite right. They were kind of winning in spite of some things. I think, another year removed from that, I think there's going to be a new sense of urgency just because of the disappointment that they experienced last year. Probably lit a fire under them. There's going to be a different vision and a different kind of approach on offense because basically last year, Brian Johnson was basically made to be the scapegoat for those offensive struggles. But Nick Sirianni, it's his offense, and they just did not evolve and really they weren't able to stay a step ahead of the defense. I think that everybody, the defensive coordinators, they spent the offseason studying and breaking down and figuring out how to slow Jalen Hurts and those guys down, and they succeeded. So now you bring in Kellen Moore, who's Nick Sirianni basically has turned the reins over to him. It means another offense for Jalen Hurts to learn, but he's used to this. He's not had consecutive play callers a whole lot during his high school, college, or NFL career. But he's got probably the best 1-2 punch as far as wide receivers go with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Now you add Saquon Barkley to that mix. You got Dallas Goedert. They have no excuse not to move the football this year. So I think that you're going to see a pretty balanced attack. We saw that out of Kellen Moore in Dallas and also in San Diego last year. But there's also a young energy. Vic Fangio has got a lot of young guys who are stepping into big roles, and he's going to be aggressive with that defense. Last year, it was like they could never really quite get what they wanted out of that defense. So I think you add all that stuff, the returning guys, the nucleus is there, but there's also just a newness because of the two coordinators. I think it's going to be hard to stop the Eagles this year.
We'll see.
My guy, yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about.
From the Athletic.
Too excited, huh?
Mike, I want to ask you who you see as a surprise team potentially in the NFL. And I will tell you this, we've had a couple of guests in the last couple of weeks who seem to be thinking Washington could surprise some people. Where are you on that, Mike?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's because I covered Washington for so many years for Washington Post and have grown up in the area and have seen just all the years and years of disappointment. I think they'll take some steps forward, but this is going to be a process. I don't see them being an overnight sensation like Houston was last year. Houston was that surprise team last year. It's going to be interesting to see who it is that really kind of steps up and takes people by surprise. I think Atlanta is going to be a team that, look, they were a good team. They played hard. Everybody you talk to said, man, they play hard, but, they didn't have a quarterback. So now you got Kirk Cousins, got the skill positions. Raheem Morris is going to, supercharge that defense. So Atlanta might be a team that can really make some noise because their division is pretty wide open. Yes, Tampa is back, and they should build on last year. But the Saints, don't feel them. The Panthers, they are a long way off. And so the Falcons might be a team that causes some trouble.
It seems like every year, Mike, the Cowboys are the team under the microscope. Are they once again the team feeling the most pressure going into the season?
I do agree with you that they feel a lot of pressure because, look, Mike McCarthy is entering this lame duck year, doesn't have a contract after this. He's got to get done. But they're not alone. Buffalo's a team. Look, Sean McDermott, they have had the window there. They're supposed to be able to go toe-to-toe with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they continue to fall short. So he's got to get them over the hump. Mike McDaniel down in Miami has done a good job of changing that culture, and they've been competitive. But whenever they run up against a playoff team, they struggle. So it's just not enough to just get to the playoffs. They've got to be competitive. I think so. He's under pressure. I think Doug Peterson in Jacksonville, another team where they've got, the dysfunction of the Urban Meyer era is over, but they just have not been able to consistently deliver in these last 2 years. They, had a surprising playoff run year before last, won a playoff game. Last year, they really fizzled down the stretch. So there's a number of teams, along with Dallas, whose head coach is not quite on the hot seat, but it might get a little hot if they don't quite deliver this year.
Mike Jones with us from The Athletic. Mike, how good is Brandon Aiyuk getting back to the Niners? Where do you think this ends up? Why do you think the Niners haven't, with all these receivers signing these big deals, why do you think the Niners haven't, at least yet, taken care of him?
Well, I mean, look, as you said, a lot of these receivers are getting big money. And, if you take care of Brandon Aiyuk, then you got to take care of Deebo Samuel. And, there's only so much money to go around. I think that right now they've got a lot of money tied up in a lot of positions. Trent Williams is holding out once, his deal redone. They're going to have to pay Brock Purdy. And so they drafted a wide receiver. I think they want to keep Aiyuk for this year. This is almost like the look, hey, we're Super Bowl or bust, and then they break up the band and have to kind of do some retooling financially. And so they don't want to be tied into another, record-breaking long-term deal at wide receiver.
So maybe does this make sense to you? A lot of people are kicking it around. If they get together with Brandon and say, look, we'll tear up your deal. We'll give you 25 for this year, guaranteed, and then we'll revisit the whole thing after we win the Super Bowl.
I mean, that could be very possible. They need him on the field if they're going to have a chance. So, we'll see.
Yeah, Mike Jones joining us. I hope they pay Aiyuk, man. That's my guy. Big fan of his and what he does. Number one receiver on that team. I want to go to the AFC briefly here. Kansas City, the way Patrick Mahomes is, another Super Bowl. Who's going to dethrone them out there? Who's the team to keep an eye on in the AFC that finally knocks him off the ladder?
The team to watch, I think, is Cincinnati. They have invested in their offensive line some more. They've invested in their defense some more. They've got to get Jamar Chase taken care of. They've, put the franchise tag on T. Higgins. They really are a team that if Joe Burrow can be healthy, they're probably the most well-rounded team. Baltimore is another one you watch, but they've had some changes on defense, and they really have, new defensive coordinator. Some they promoted from within. They might be okay, but at the same time, they have not invested in the pass rusher. So they've got Kyle Van Noy, who's going to be 34. Opposite him, they've got a lot of question mark guys, young guys who, haven't, there's nobody elite. And so the decision not to invest or even draft early a pass rusher, and also my question is also outside of Zay Flowers, is Lamar Jackson ever going to have a really reliable game-changing talent to throw to at wide receiver? Yes, they have Mark Andrews at tight end, but the weapons they have, I don't know if they have it to be able to score and compete against the Chiefs. They might fall short again. So, but those are the two teams. If you look at them talent-wise, they have the most, and they've got the quarterbacks to be able to compete. And so those are things. But again, it's going to be hard because they've got that formula in Kansas City, and they're just a well-oiled machine.
Mike, we'll let you go on this one. We appreciate your time very much. And I know this is kind of an unknown for everybody, but what are you looking for tonight? How significant do you think going forward the new kickoff rules are going to be this year?
I think this is what everybody wants to see. I've been bouncing around the training camps. I've been to 3 different ones so far, and every coach that you ask is very intrigued, wants to see what it looks like. Special teams coordinators, talk to them, they're intrigued because, yes, they've drilled it in practice and things like that, but nobody knows what it's going to look like at game speed. And so I don't know when we've ever tuned into a game so excited to see what kickoff looks like. But, hey, good job, NFL, because you've made some meaning to the first preseason game when most of the time none of these games really matter. And so it's going to be, I could see it where teams decide to boot it out the back of the end zone and don't worry about it. Or I've been watching these drills. I'm like, man, you can look at this as there could be a lot of these things broken and taken to the house. So it's really going to be interesting to see how it all looks.
Mike Jones from The Athletic. Thank you, Mike. Enjoy the game tonight, if such a thing is possible, and we hope to talk to you again real soon.
All right, thanks. You guys have a good one.
All right, Mike.
When we come right back, we got an update on Brandon Aiyuk and an update on Frank Gore next on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm meteorologist Heather Waldman in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Warm Thursday night with temperatures staying in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. You'll notice clouds on Friday. That'll hold highs in the mid-90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA app.
Hi, this is Frank LaRosa.
And this is Scott Marsh.
Join us weekly for Golf to Go right here on Sactown Sports. We talk to all the local golf experts in the area and give you the latest on all the courses as well.
And not to mention all the golf legends and celebrities, along with all the latest in equipment and tournaments too.
Most importantly, we'll just have some fun talking about a game that's fun to play.
You know it's my favorite hour of the week, Frank.
Golf to Go, Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports. Give us a listen. I think you'll enjoy it.
Sacramento, Dierks Bentley's coming to town.
Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo for Country in the Park 2. And he's bringing some friends. Farmally, Tyler Rich, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Saturday, September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo. Get your tickets today before they're sold out at CITPFest.com. Brought to you by The Scoundrel Red Wine, Naturewood Home Furnishings, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Yeah.
Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
A lot of people seem to think that Brandon Aiyuk's going to be coming to terms with the 49ers on some kind of deal very soon. A lot of that is speculation, and it seems like for the most part it's just based on the way people are interpreting the video of Aiyuk yesterday and how chummy he was with Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. It looks like that's the basis for this reporting, this feeling of optimism that, oh yeah, something's going to happen here in a couple of days.
Yeah, wasn't Colin Cowherd in on it also? He said something about it. I thought I saw earlier talking about, and I think maybe
keep
that's
eyes.
Part. Yeah, he had the eyes out there. Keep your eyes on Brandon Aiyuk. Something coming on. Yeah, keep your eyes out, eyeballs, for Brandon Aiyuk news. New deal SF hashtag he had. That was 5 hours ago, and so then everybody and their mom started. Here it comes. Yeah. But our boy Emil Fergoso, sources.
He told me today when I came in, he said it looks like today or in the next few days, some will get done on Aiyuk.
Would you be surprised if it gets done before Trent Williams or no? Good question there,
because it is. No, just because, like Jay said, they're going to take their time with Trent Williams. They could come to an agreement and say, all right, yeah, we don't have to announce anything yet. Rest, get your rest. But that's a tricky one too, of course, with the news that Tristan Wirfs is now the highest paid offensive lineman.
Right.
And on a yearly basis, average annual value, Trent Williams is now 6th.
Yes.
So all the way down.
He's not even top 5 anymore.
Yeah. So he's got his deal that runs for 3 more years, but he's going to be wanting some guaranteed money, similar to what Christian McCaffrey wanted.
Yeah.
49ers took care of that right away. I don't understand. I'm sure there's good reasons for it, but if I'm Aiyuk or I'm Trent Williams, like, why does some of these guys, they take care of things like that and everything I've done, and I'm sitting here just sweating bullets,
wondering where's my money? Where's my money? And it seems like every year, and I understand this is the way football is. It's a business. We get that. Cowboys going through it right now. But every year with the Niners, there's a big name that wants to get paid, and for some reason isn't in camp. Now you got 2. Now you got 2, though.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is a little bit different. We ultimately think it'll get done. I'm interested in the Aiyuk number. Like, what does it settle down? Is it 28? Does he get 30? Is it 26? Like, I think that's going to be a huge thing I'm looking forward to.
If I'm going to the Draper Casino, I'm laying money on 1-year deal, fully guaranteed for 25 or whatever. And
you sound like you got some inside sources or something.
No,
sound like you
I really
heard
don't.
something, because you're hammering that drum right there.
Yeah, it just makes the most sense to me.
Yeah.
That way everybody kind of gets what they want in the short term. And it sounds like the 49ers, that's really all they're concerned about with him is the short term. This year, we want him for this year. And then we'll deal with the rest of it next year when who knows what we're going to have to pay Purdy.
Well, I mean, the Niners.
And we got Ricky Pearsall, so we're set.
The Niners understand their window's closing in about a year.
Yeah.
Like, they're going all in. Like, whatever.
No. Don't let them do that, Whitey. Whitey, don't let them do that. Don't let him do that.
I agree with that to an extent. This is it.
Their championship window is only this year. That's it?
No, but they're committed to doing it this year. And if they don't.
That's 2 separate things. Two separate things.
You're right.
I will say this about the Niners window.
Better do it this year.
If you let Aiyuk go or Debo go, the gap between you and the rest of the NFC gets smaller. That the talent that we talk about with this night, unless Pearsall turns into some,
You should have seen him at camp yesterday.
Right.
I know. Where's all that talk? You've been hinging on the talk of Brock Purdy. Where's the tricky Ricky P talk?
Man, I'm not.
Okay. You're not talking about that. Huh?
It was a reach to get him in the first round as is. Like,
and a snack. That's what that's going to be.
But
people saying, how did he make all those catches? Brandon, who?
Let's be honest about the Niners. And I understand you guys are Brandon who. Come on, man. Shoot.
What was that guy's name again?
They need to pay Aiyuk $32 million after watching Ricky Pearsall in camp. But let's be honest with the Niners, fellas. Let's keep it real. And this is not me being biased or anything like this, Jay.
Anytime he says that, I know what's coming.
No, but seriously.
Guaranteed.
Like, they've extended this window for some time now. Like, they're always knocking on the door. When does it come to a point where, all right, what we're doing isn't quite working? Maybe we got to make drastic changes. Maybe we got to let Debo go. Dude, if they don't get it done and they decide to let Debo go versus Aiyuk, you're ripping out some of the heart and soul of that locker room.
But I don't think they would do that. I agree with you, and I think that they know that, and that's why they wouldn't do that, and that's why they're going to do 1 year with Aiyuk.
Disrespectful to Aiyuk.
It's disrespectful to somebody because you just can't pay everybody what they literally are worth market value-wise. You just can't.
So it's boom or bust, though, right? We all agree.
Oh, yeah. It's been boom or bust for the 49ers the last 5 years.
They're turning into the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just saying. Because
I'm just saying.
they do at least have some hardware. I don't care if it's dusty or not.
Dude,
I don't care if it's dusty or not.
Let's keep it real, Jay.
Him to Levi's and show him.
Yeah, you're going to have to see the trophy room.
Man, shoot. That's 30 years ago.
That's fine.
Think about that.
That's fine.
Think about that. There's a whole generation of fans that have not seen the Niners win a Super Bowl.
Totally understand.
30 years ago.
I'm with you.
And it's a different game than 94 was, Jay. This is a different NFL.
I agree.
And so my thing about the Niners, and it's showing to be true because I with my Eagles as well, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. Fellas.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it is like the margin of error, like they're right there. And, you got some great players, some great quarterbacks. That's what makes what Patrick Mahomes has done. Tom Brady, what he's done, so much more incredible. A guy like Aaron Rodgers with only 1 Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson, never having been to a Super Bowl. Like, it is hard to win a championship, a Super Bowl. And I don't know what the excuse would be for the Niners now. Because they were better.
Injury, that's like our guest said, Mike Jones.
Were they better than the Chiefs last year? What?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
And they had that game.
They lost.
That game on last Friday. You weren't
here. Oh, yeah, I didn't watch it. It was on.
And I tell Jed, update him. He go, I don't want to talk about it. But just watching it, it was like, how did they lose that game?
Right. And I got to argue they're the best team this year too, right? We agree with that,
on
right?
Paper. Yep.
On paper. And so there can't be an excuse unless somebody goes down, like you said, injury. You can't just tip your cap. Like last year, all right, Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to give you a slide on it, even though he's done it to you a couple of times now. I'm going to give you a slide on it, a pass on that. But this year, you got to be able to get over that hump.
You know why they're going to win this year? The defense is going to be a lot better, and it's going to be one of those defenses that teams
no Dre Greenlaw to win.
Yeah, the secondary, people there in camp are talking about how good the secondary is. Again, they fortify the front. They're going to get after quarterbacks, and they're going to have one of those defenses that other teams don't like playing against. And that's going to make all the difference this year.
You think so?
Yep.
New coordinator will be
new coordinator's just kind of falling in the right place, right time. I just think the talent's coming together and the right way for it. We'll see. By the way, opening day for the 49ers, which is that game against the Jets. Frank Gore is going to be inducted into the 49er Hall of Fame.
Patrick Willis okay.
The NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame this weekend. Did you know Frank Gore is the 3rd leading rusher all time?
In like NFL history?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
The GOAT, baby. Should have had a Super Bowl. Should have had 1 or 2 Super Bowls too, man.
Who is it?
So
Emmett?
It's like Emmett
ain't the GOAT.
Peyton? No, we talking
Frank Gore.
Yes. Come on, man.
Really?
It's incredible.
That longevity too, though. Man. Frank Gore's 3rd all in
Isn't that incredible?
And he's going to be up there for a while because the running back game isn't the same.
Mm-hmm. Number 1, Emmitt Smith.
Where's he at?
He's with
What numbers?
18,355. Number 2, Walter Payton, 16,726. Number 3, Frank Gore, 16,000 even. And Barry Sanders, AP, Curtis Martin, LT, everybody.
Wow.
That's amazing. I'm with you.
Jay. You can't beat a GOAT when you're third in something, bro. You can't beat a GOAT when you're third.
You can be the greatest of all time 49er running back.
Okay.
There
All
it was.
right. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Who's on that list? Who's the next nearest active player?
Good question. Do they have it?
AP retired, right?
Derrick Henry's number 36.
Where's he at?
9,500 yards.
Dude, that Emmitt Smith record may never be broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might be right.
Especially the way running backs now is like.
Where's CMC on that? Has he cracked 7,500 yet?
Keep scrolling. You got
need an Excel sheet.
Number 90, 6,185
Dang,
yards.
he don't even have 7,500 yet.
Yeah, he's behind among active players: Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, Melvin Gordon, Latavius Murray.
Oh, yeah, he's got no shot for 18.
Derrick Henry.
Okay.
You need close to 2,000 twice to probably catch that in longevity, which Drapes was talking about. No one is getting 15 years as a running back anymore, like Emmitt Smith did.
It just seems to me that guys like Barry Sanders, you watch him and look, OJ was this way too. And you watch the whole footage and they'd kind of glide between the tackles and up and guys now they don't run with as much. There's not as much
shiftiness,
individuality to the way guys run. I don't know.
Yeah, because it's all schemes. It's all zone scheme. You know.
Yeah.
The Shanahans have created the zone scheme run.
Yeah.
There's not many
guys that just can go from here to there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, one thing about Barry, he had terrible offensive lines. For the most part, he had terrible offenses. You know, all together, the D wasn't always on point, minus a few years. But Barry had 4 guys in the backfield. He'll make everybody miss and dance for another 20.
Run like he was on a Segway.
right. Oh man.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. We can't go to the phones right now. I'm sorry. We have to take a timeout.
Quick
I apologize.
timeout.
Yes, because the clock getting away from us a little bit. We have something very important coming up.
Drapes takes.
What? Next on Sactown Sports.
KD.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow. Sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Jason Mraz and the Super Band. Live. The mystical, magical, rhythmical, radical ride. Friday, August 9th, the venue at Thunder Valley. Jason Mraz and the Super Band with special guest Molly Miller Trio. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Jason Mraz and the Super Band in concert. Pick up the new album, Mystical, Magical, Rhythmical, Radical Ride.
There was always a crowd gathered around our dining table when I was growing up. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Everyone was welcome at my mother's table, so holidays, birthdays, and celebrations always included family and friends. I used to think I was the most popular kid in the neighborhood until I realized that my friends were really there for my mother's incredible cooking. Years later, when I bought my own dining table from Naturewood, I made sure it was large enough to make friends feel welcome. And right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings Dine in Style sale, you have an opportunity to find the perfect dining room furniture to help you create your own treasured memories. Choose from casual to formal or anything in between. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings during the Dine in Style sale off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Your water heater. Old, rusty, forgotten. We hardly ever even think about them until there's no hot water. Right now, get incredible rebates up to $3,000 off and financing available for as little as $40 a month. Leave it to Bonnie to crank up the heat.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Oh, the excitement in here right now is almost palpable. You got Manny Too Legit on the chat. Drapes Takes.
My guy.
Finally, it's been far too long. You've waited long enough. Here it is. Drapes Takes returning.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down.
You know,
Whitey. Take
Whitey.
it easy, man. Just take it easy.
I came into the office and I was on one already. We started the show off today talking about the Aiyuk news and the so-called sources and everything like that. And I went on a major rant because I think social media has ruined the game. I'm talking about the sports talk game. I'm talking about the intellectual game in this country, in America. Case in point, you got stuff talking about the Olympics, the Algerian boxer. One person tweets out something and they take it for gospel and it just spirals out of control. Brian Windhorst, noted basketball writer, respected basketball personality, got me fired up. So I want to get to Drape's takes right now. Jay, hit him with it.
For the game last night, Greeny, and basically put out a sermon and said, this is not the NBA. This is not the soap opera. This is not drama. What we have here is a chance to win a gold medal over the course of 2.5 weeks. There's only a chance of 6 possible games, and he's going to change his lineup whoever fits the best in those each individual games. He's not going to care if a player gets upset or if a player isn't thrilled, because he doesn't have to worry about the player asking for a trade or getting re-signed or going to his agent. They are going to put out the lineups that can win. And against the South Sudan, who plays a very athletic, spread the floor, speed game without much size, Joel Embiid didn't make sense. Jason Tatum made more sense in a wing-heavy lineup. He's going to continue to do this. In fact, he announced Jason Tatum.
Jay, cut him off. Brian Windhorst is out here carrying the water for Steve Kerr. And this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta, when somebody gives you news, when somebody gives you a take, when somebody tweets something out, consider the source and what their angle is. We know Brian Windhorst, a noted journalist, but he got his job and got his career because of LeBron James, his insight to LeBron James. Here's the thing about Steve Kerr with Brian Windhorst is missing. Nobody's talking about Joel Embiid not playing yesterday. We understood that. But Jason Tatum, Brian, it's okay to say, Steve Kerr, you messed up. You made a mistake. Don't come out and say Steve Kerr is coaching a master class. Dog, you beat South Sudan. I could coach the Team USA and beat South Sudan. He is carrying the water for Steve Kerr right now. Steve Kerr's a great coach. Steve Kerr's a tremendous person. I stand with Steve Kerr a lot. A lot of the things he says is right. But Steve Kerr over the last year and a half has made mistake after mistake after mistake when it comes to coaching. James Wiseman messed that up. Moses Moody still can't get no playing time. Jordan Poole ruined that man's career. FIBA basketball last year finishing 4th. Don't play Jason Tatum? What? Jason Tatum's a top 10 player in the league. And you can't tell me a matchup with Serbia is the reason you don't play Jason Tatum. I understand Joel Embiid not playing against South Sudan, but we're talking about Jason freaking Tatum and Brian Windhorst over there in Paris. Maybe he had dinner with Steve Kerr the night before. Maybe he's hoping his credential doesn't get revoked. He don't want to be ostracized like my guy Jaylen Brown has been from Team USA. But for Brian Windhorst to say that Steve Kerr is coaching a master class at the Olympics by beating Serbia and South Sudan, stop carrying the water, Brian Windhorst. It's okay to say, Steve Kerr, you messed up against Serbia by not playing Jason Tatum. but he's carrying the water for him right now, man. And that got me fired up. It's one thing for the coach to be wrong. It's another thing for a journalist to be like, this dude's coaching a master class. Dog, you beat South Sudan. Don't tell me about no master class when you beat South Sudan. Go out there and beat France. Go out there and beat Germany. That's what I want to see. Don't carry the water, Brian Windhorst. You're better than that. And that's Drape's Takes right there. It's brought to you by Alsco Uniforms. That's right. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. That got me fired up, Whitey, because here's the thing, man, and I'm going to continue on. Steve Kerr, he's not without reproach. That's what we do. We second-guess coaching.
Right.
You know what I mean? We second-guess lineups. We second-guess late-game execution. That's what we do. And for Brian Windhorst to sit up there and say this guy is coaching a master class when Team USA is just 2-0 and they beat Serbia and South Sudan, come on, man. That reeks of carrying the water for a coach, doing a favor for a coach or something like that.
So you sound like you're actually more unhappy with Windhorst than you are with Steve Kerr.
Yes.
Or is it a toss-up?
Because Windhorst isn't calling it like he's seeing it. He got the memo before his show yesterday. You know how the newsletter comes out in the morning from certain organizations. Here are our talking points. That was a talking point instructed to Brian Windhorst. There's no way he's thinking Steve Kerr is coaching a masterclass. How are you coaching a masterclass? You got Team USA. Ain't no X's and O's involved. He's not drawing up a triangle in 2. He's not running a box in 1. He's saying, all right, guys, get out there and play ball. To not play Jason Tatum, that is blasphemous. And sure, they're winning games, but they beat Serbia and South Sudan. But to not play Jason Tatum, that's one of the all-time biggest blunders I've seen from a coach in the Olympics.
Although, as you pointed out earlier, Jason Tatum sounded like he was okay with it. He said he was humbled by it, but he sounded like he was okay with it.
Because Tatum, my guy, is going to take the high road. He knows what the mission is. It's to not make waves, and it's to win the gold medal. Ultimately, that's what it's mostly about. That's what you go there for, to win the medal. But notice, how come he started Jason Tatum against South Sudan?
He said because that game was more wing oriented and you didn't have to worry about the size of South Sudan.
So you go from not playing at all, which means you're almost dead last in the rotation, mind you, to starting. How come Anthony Edwards didn't start, Whitey?
Rotation.
How come Anthony Edwards didn't start?
This is Steve Kerr.
How come Kevin Durant didn't start?
Rotation.
Right. If it didn't lend itself to, if it was more of a wing game, all right, start Anthony Edwards because he played more than Jason Tatum a couple of games ago. Start Kevin Durant. He went off a couple of games ago against Serbia. Steve Kerr knew he made a mistake, and he tried to make amends with Tatum by starting him. And Brian Windhorst should have seen through that instead of carrying the water.
Here's what Steve Kerr said. The hardest part of this job is you're sitting at least a couple of guys who are world class, some of the very best players on the earth. On one hand, it makes no sense at all. On the other, I'm asking these guys to just commit to winning one game and then move on to the next one. I have to do the same thing. And so I felt like last night, those were the combinations that made the most sense. End quote. I'm not coming at you. I'm just saying how, you answer your question. What is Steve Kerr thinking? How could he do that? That's his answer.
But you could say that. You could say that every day. You could say, as a coach, these are the combinations I thought. How come you didn't think Jason Tatum could not be part of a successful combination? It's Jason Tatum. And I'm not a Celtics homer, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted the Warriors to win 2 years ago when they beat the Celtics because I didn't want the Celtics to get a ring without me.
Kerr said he's a total pro. He's first team All-NBA 3 years in a row. I felt like an idiot not playing him.
Nah, you know what happened? Exactly. He felt like an idiot. And so here's the thing.
You're saying he was an idiot.
No, I'm not saying
in this case.
I'm not saying. I'm not going to call anybody in. Don't try and
He's
back
the one
me.
that said
Don't try and back me
idiot.
into that. Don't try and back me into that, Whitey.
You said
Jason Tatum covered for Steve Kerr. Jason Tatum could have been a malcontent. Jason Tatum could have been pissed off, but he was the grown-up in the room and took the heat and said, you know what? I'm going to swallow my pride and we'll move on. Steve Kerr botched this one. The same way he botched Moses Moody in Sacramento when Moses Moody had 11 points in the fourth quarter and then didn't play
He
the
didn't
last
admit
5,
that. He
6
said,
minutes.
yeah, he admitted.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say a coach made a mistake. Unlike Windhorst, who's saying he's coaching a master class, Whitey. You made one of the biggest mistakes in Olympics history. That's like not playing LeBron, Carmelo, and Bosch and those guys back in the day in 2004. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm fired up. All right, that's Drape's takes right there. Oh, I got to get the sponsor read here.
Uniforms. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco uniforms.
All right, I'm done.
I do think that if Team USA, for whatever reason, if they don't win, I think Steve Kerr is probably not going to be the coach anymore. And I think of all the players, Jay and I talked about this one day last week. If everybody representing Team USA for men's basketball, Steve Kerr needs the gold medal more than anybody else.
I agree.
I know that the coaches don't get medals in the Olympics, but he's the one that needs the team to win more than anybody else.
You know, with this,
and I think they will.
I think they will too. But you could argue if they don't win the gold medal here, this would be akin to John Thompson in the 1988 team not winning the gold medal. That's shocking.
That loss is what prompted the U.S. to go to the pros.
Right, because you're talking about losing in FIBA, finishing 4th, and then losing in the Olympics, not winning gold. That's a stain on your resume. Hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Are you okay? Because I know you're fired up. Are you okay for the Wayback quiz coming up? Are you able to compete?
Oh, yeah. I studied today. I looked some things up. Yeah. I'm ready.
You look.
No, I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready.
And
Let's
listen,
do
my
this.
apologies. I know we have a number of people want to get in on the phones, and we love talking to you. And we've shorter show today, and we've got to cram some things in there because we got football coming up. For example, we have this for you, cramming this in, but jump on this. Find your endless summer with Sactown Sports. Don't miss your chance to check out America's band, the Beach Boys, at the Hard Rock Live this November. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number.
I would say caller 0 in honor of Jason Tatum, but I can't do that. So we're going to do caller number 1. First caller.
Caller number 1.
First caller in. Get it right now. Jay, get it done.
Just score that pair of tickets and check out the Beach Boys. Hard Rock Live on November 24th, courtesy of Live Nation. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. The Wayback quiz. Jay against Drapes is next. Sactown Sports.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Hi, welcome to Staples.
Yeah, my daughter needs a laptop for college, but I need to watch the budget.
Well, Staples hot deals on tech are backed by a price match guarantee, so our prices won't be beat.
Great. I can't believe my baby's starting college.
She'll do great.
I know.
Oh, let's get you a great deal on a laptop.
Save big on tech for school at Staples. Now get up to $300 off select PCs. NC24 price match guarantee valid within 14 days of purchase. Exclusions apply. For details, visit staples.com/price match.
Hey, going on vacation next week. That's great. But the bad news is for a week, I'll be without my Napoleon Prestige grill. You want to bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meals with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill. I miss it already. It's got features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Premium stainless steel, boasting quality and a lifetime warranty. Napoleon Grills and Accessories, now available at your nearby Amy's Ace Hardware in Sacramento and now El Dorado.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Thanks for being with us today and all your feedback again. Apologies for not getting more calls in today. Curtis Six says this Drapes takes is how I feel about the USA 3-on-3 basketball team. Totally agree. I'm right there with you.
All right. He's okay.
Our guy, Antonio Ray Harvey. Preach, Drapes. Call it what it is. We do have a lot of pathological liars and arrogant wannabes out here dirtying up the disciplines of journalism.
Seek the truth and provide fair and balanced reports. That's what I'm talking about, Tony Ray Harvey. When you hear reports, consider the source and where they may have gotten that from. And then, I just feel like a lot of times some of these reports out there, they're carrying water for certain people.
Manny, too legit. Look some things up. Okay, Drapes, haha. He heard you say that.
Oh, Manny Too Legit said that? All right. That's my guy. I love you, Manny Too Legit.
I hate you.
Oh, that's messed up. That's messed up.
And Johnny Peterosa says Tatum is in top 5. Yes, top 10.
Top 10. Top 10. Yeah. Top 10 for sure. 100%.
So thanks for being with us. We still have some pizza left in the box, and it's delicious pizza at that, because it's time for the Wayback quiz for August the 1st. Drapes.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
I am ready.
Mr. Jay has been having a field day.
No. He won last one. I won the one before that. Remember?
Jay?
Don't let him tell them stories. He's carrying the water for his own self, White.
Carrying his own water.
Yeah, the last W he got is last Friday.
Was it Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday for you, big fella.
And I wasn't here Monday.
You weren't here.
I beat you Tuesday.
You didn't beat me Tuesday.
No, I won Tuesday.
No. Tuesday and Wednesday it'd be me, sir.
All right.
Tuesday was the one, I think, where you beat yourself up.
Yes. He dropped it. He choked it off. Portland Trailblazers, 1999.
Yeah. Everything in the quiz is based on or related to things that happened on this date, August 1st. And these years, Jay, you're up first. Here's your years today. 1941, 1973, 1976, 1977, 1987, and 2021. 41, 73, 76, 77, 87, 2021. Jay, where are you
on? 1947.
41 or
41, excuse me, I'm sorry.
No problem.
There was a lot of sevens in there. 87, 47.
Come on, Jay. I know. All right, this date, 1941, in a 9 to, it's actually closest to the hole.
Okay.
You want to go first, or you want him to go first?
I want Drapes to go first.
I'm going to get it correct.
9-0 win over St. Louis this date, 1941. Yankee lefty Gomez set a record for most walks allowed while pitching a shutout. With how many?
Most walks allowed while pitching a shutout
for the Yankees. He walked more than anybody has ever walked while pitching a shutout before. How many?
7.
7? Jay?
Going 8.
It's 11.
Yeah. Hey, put it in the bank.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess.
Yeah.
You know where I would have went? 10.
Yeah,
10 would have been on that.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of walks. Yeah.
All right, Drapes. Down 1-0, but you're up. 73, 76, 77, 87, 2021.
87.
In a unification bout.
Yeah,
Mike
Tyson
becomes the first to hold the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles at the same time. With a win over who? Tony Tucker, Frank Bruno, Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes!
That's not correct.
That's not right. Yeah. You said 87.
87, unification bout.
Yep.
Tyson, the first to hold the WBA, WBC, IBF titles at the same time with a win over Tony Tucker or Frank Bruno. Or 2-0 lead.
It's
we're gonna be here a while.
Frank Bruno.
I'm sorry, that's not
Tucker.
correct.
Ah.
Mr. Boxing.
Ah.
Swing and a miss. So
what was the last belt? He defended against Bruno, but I thought he picked up one other belt off Bruno. Dang. Okay, no problem. No problem here. No problem here.
The answer is the answer, big fella.
No problem.
Yeah. All right. So
change the question.
You're up, though, Jay.
Yes, sir. Watch this
73,
2-0 lead.
76, 77, 2021.
I'm going earlier, 73.
All right. The New York Nets of the ABA on this date, 1973, acquire Julius Irving. And the Nets got him from what team? The Virginia Squires, the Memphis Tams, the Pittsburgh Condors.
The Virginia Squires.
So easy.
Come on, baby.
You know what, fellas? I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not playing anymore.
I'm not playing anymore?
That is the easiest question in the history of.
No, I'm talking about. Hold up.
Are you throwing in the towel? That is the white towel. Are you up on that apron right now?
Get out the way.
Are you up on that apron?
That is so easy.
Okay, now.
That is.
I'll bring it back. Are you on the apron?
I'm just saying, Jay. That is the easiest question.
Well, you could have hit the 73.
That's right. There's an element of luck involved.
That's right.
It's not like, oh, Jay,
that
let me
is
give
terrible.
him an
Referee, can you please ask him? Is he on the apron? Is he throwing in the white towel?
Throwing in the white
Did he throw in the white towel?
I didn't turn my mic off. I didn't turn my mic off.
You did declare that you were tapping out.
Referee, give it to me. Can you put the smelling salts on him one more time?
Standing 8 count. Standing 8 count.
All right.
All right, Katie. 76, 77, 2021.
What is it? 2-0 right now?
2-0. Plenty of time. Plenty of points.
2021. I need to get this one.
At the Tokyo Olympics,
Yes.
Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi and Qatar's Mataz Essa Barshim. They agree to share the gold medal rather than have a jump off. They're like, nah, you got it, I got it. In what sport? They agree to share the gold rather than jump off in what sport? Long jump, pole vault, high jump. I remember this. Everybody remembers this. It's Olympic history.
And what are the names again, please?
Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi and Qatar's Mataz Essa Barshim. They're like tied. It's like, jump off. No, I tell you what. Let's just stop now. You get a gold, I get a gold. Dude, yes.
And what are the disciplines again?
Long jump, pole vault, high jump. Drape's taking his time. He knows this is a
that's a big one.
He's not out of it necessarily if he doesn't get this, but you'd sure benefit from scoring.
High jump.
Yeah.
Long jump.
Bingo!
You're right. You're right. I was hoping he went somewhere. I knew this one. I remember this one. I knew that one.
Oh, man.
You see that when Jay's quiet?
Yeah,
I knew that one.
That was a tough one, though, for me. I didn't remember that one.
I remembered that one.
All right. 2-1.
2-1. How many got left? 2, right?
There's 2 left.
So I can ice him.
You can, you could lock it down here. 1976, 1977.
Watch this one, guys. Watch
Man,
this one.
that's a tough one. I'm going to go 77.
Watch this question, guys.
You're not going to like this because it's
a Giants question?
Yeah.
Watch this question.
But it's the closest to.
Then Drapes goes first.
All right, Drapes. This day, 1977.
Using my strategy. Unbelievable.
No, you've been going. You flipped it. I forced you to flip it yesterday.
Willie McCovey.
Yes,
great. Sets a National League record for career grand slams on this date, 1977. With how many for his career? National League record, grand slams.
That's a tough question, man. That is a tough question. Career grand slams. Man, that's a tough question. Because I got to guess it enough to make Jay go one way or the other. And make them think about it.
Or you can get it on the nose and
career grand slams.
Mm-hmm.
17.
17. Jay?
That's a tough one.
Want me to repeat the question?
No.
Right?
Because
that's a tough one.
For those just joining us, let me 1977, this date. Willie McCovey sets a National League record for career grand slams with how many?
You know what?
And Drapes is 17.
This is somewhat. I remember him being close to 20.
Come on,
man! Don't worry. You talk it out. Let me talk it out. He was right around 20. 17's a tough number. I was hoping he was going to go about 15 because I don't went 16. I'm going to go 18, and I think he's like 19 or 20.
One of you has the correct answer on the note.
Really? Jay got it. Because Compio is saying it in the chat. That's weak.
It's 18.
Jay back there looking at the chat. He's looking at the chat.
Jay has the point.
Why you can watch me at all points in time? You can see me on camera at all points in time.
Hey, Compio, you gotta
I don't
stop
even
doing
look
that.
at the champ. I don't even look at the
Are you requesting
thing
an
over there.
official review?
Nah, because I know I'm going to lose, dude.
Here we
It's
go.
rigged like the Supreme Court
Give
right now.
me the last question. I've already taken the W with the asterisks, okay? Give me the Laker championship in the bubble. Can I get that?
Unbelievable.
Can I get that? Can I get the
Compio's giving
championship?
the answers right here, dude.
Yeah, Jay is not looking at his screen over there.
My bad. My
I can see
apologies
it.
for looking at 7 things going on at one time and looking at the situation. I rarely actually read the YouTube, to be completely honest, and I've
He
said that
actually
numerous
mentioned
times.
that, 2 days ago.
I rarely can see the YouTube because it moves too fast, and I'm looking at other things.
Compio says, I know my McCovey stats. Yeah.
Compio said, no, he's
Give me the last question.
Yeah, what's the last
Give me the
question?
last
Oh,
question.
you want the last one?
Compio, stop cheating, man.
I know he's
That-
feeding you stuff.
yeah,
He's
he-
just playing along. He's not
cheating. He's cheating.
He's just playing
He
along.
can't be putting that.
You know what he's doing, fellas? He's framing the pitch. Okay.
Yeah. The last one is 1976. What team played their first ever game in the preseason opener against the 49ers? So
I
49ers
didn't
played.
even hear
Yeah.
that question.
First ever game. 49ers played this date 76, a team, preseason game. Another team was playing their first game ever. Tampa Bay, Seattle, or Carolina?
Tampa.
Nope.
Oh,
that's Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle
Yeah,
Seahawks.
there you go.
Seattle Seahawks in the Kingdome. Remember the Kingdome?
Yes, as my boy Derek says, yo, are we going to ever stop cheating Drapes? Drapes getting cheated bad, bro.
Who was this again? Is this too shifty?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
No,
okay.
it's just Derek. I don't know if it's the
All
same
right,
guy. It might
okay.
be a different guy. It might be a different
How many
guy.
times has Drake's been cheated?
3?
Okay.
One time, Imran and Simone tried to team up on me.
Okay,
that
I
was
wasn't
a
here
little,
for that one.
That was a little
Okay, I
sketchy.
wasn't
That was
here
a
for
little
that one.
sketchy. Is Kyle back there again?
No,
All
he's
right,
not.
all right.
I'll take the bubble
That was,
championship on.
That's a tough one.
I'll take
man.
the asterisk. The Devin Booker 8 in a row.
Yeah. That was another good match.
That was a good match. That was
Yeah.
a good match.
Yeah.
Jay got the easy Virginia Squires one. Like that was. I know because Whitey, you know. Come on, bro. Like that's
I don't know what you guys
You got to
know.
make it a little more difficult because that's too easy.
All
Come
right,
on.
how could I have made that question more difficult?
Just don't use that one. There's other things. Like don't get. All right, man. I gotta get
Ask
out
a
of here.
badminton question.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank goodness for the Olympics. Okay. How we doing here, Jay?
Oh, you're
what
good.
is
You
that?
got about 30
30
seconds.
seconds. All right.
yeah,
You got anything else?
Thanks
you
for
want?
being with us. Yeah. Well, I just hate to leave early. Thanks for everybody checking in and everything. But we're back with you tomorrow. Big Friday spectacular.
Yes.
Yeah. Is Emmer coming in tomorrow?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't booked it up though.
All right, we're not sure what time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell
We'll
him
be
to bring
talking
some
about-
boxes. I mean, come on. You know how. You know what Emran is?
What is he?
You know when you have a cookout, he just
Yep.
come over for the plate. No, you gotta bring a dish too.
That's true.
You know what
Don't
I mean?
come
You can't just come
empty-handed.
again. Don't
Don't come with them little 2 liters. Yeah.
The RC
All right.
colas.
We'll see. Maybe we'll bring
All
a
right.
Jello salad or something.
Right,
Tomorrow. We'll find
something,
out.
right,
I thought he's brought in some pretty delicious snacks. Thanks for being with us.
All
Enjoy
right,
the game. The Hall of Fame game snacks on Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Oi! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Oh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because feeling full can sound like this.
How did the interview go? I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
And like this.
Mom, I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/act now. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Seems as though casual players are always trying to balance the desire to hit the golf ball farther with shooting lower scores. Whether you hit a 270-yard drive or miss a 12-inch putt, they both count a stroke on your scorecard. Some of us will never hit the ball 270 yards, and trying normally leaves us well short and well right of the target. Seems as though improving our putting might be an easier way to shoot better scores. Putting is about confidence. It's about feeling the greens, seeing the line, visualizing the ball going in the hole, and making a confident stroke. Harvey Penick says, never, repeat, never allow yourself to think about what's riding on the putt, whether it's a major championship or just a 50-cent wager. Hit the putt as you've hit 10,000 putts in the past. Concentrate on imitating your final practice stroke, not on what will happen if you either miss it or make it. A positive mind will cure a lot of ills. Think about it. Really, think about it. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Points. Jerry Rice is third of the day. Montana and Rice, they are something to behold.
Handoff, Smith at left guard, 35, 40-yard line. That should do it. Move over, Sweetness. Make a place for Emmett.
And every summer, a select few are enshrined and immortalized.
Here